Got the new little setup, Glay.
Oh, okay. Okay, you got AI controlling the focus. It's up.
Hold on, yeah. Let me get the AI right. Let me get the AI right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ah, little focus. I like the straight on action.
Okay. I guess I just got to remember to do like this.
Yeah.
Uh, but sometimes I be indulging in the comment section. Sometimes I be
Nah. You both. I think you're good.
okay.
I was like full side
It was
turn to the
never
side.
it was never a quarter turn.
Quarter's it. It was the quarter turn, bro. Shout out to everybody. Grand rising to all. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Appreciate y'all locking in with us on a Friday. We got a lot to discuss as always. It's Hot Topic Friday, and every show, especially since Blaze been on, has been a definite hot show, hot topic.
Yes,
So
sir,
who we got
yes,
already
sir.
tapping in?
Yes, sir.
We got Critical in the building. Big Brain is warmed up. Let's go. Yo, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yo, Critical crazy. Still feel like I would love doing a show. Not sure why I won't make the jump. Let me turn the music off and let me lock in with you, Critical. You have to do a show. If you're thinking about doing something, that just means that you have to do it, or else you're going to be having those regrets, and your brain is going to be working in a way where all the things that you want to do, it's going to be computing in a way where it's not going to align the things which you want to do, what you end up doing. I don't know if I go crazy with all that stuff, but I definitely believe that you got to feed those urges, man. Feed those positive urges, especially when it's challenging us to step outside our box. I believe this with like artistic stuff as well. You feel like, yo, you should go ahead and make a song. Go ahead and make that song, man. You feel like you should go paint something. Go ahead and go for it. Whatever it is that, something there is for a reason. It's bringing you there, taking you there to convince you that you need to just go ahead and take that leap of faith. Come on.
And it's Art Basel. That feel
is.
real artistic, yo.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Art
it's
Basel.
Art Basel, man. It is Art Basel. I went to go see Gunna last night.
I saw him running, doing the little run. So he doing a little something in Miami this whole weekend, probably.
Yeah, it was dope. He was in the amphitheater. He was actually at the park right across from where we used to live when we were downtown.
Okay, got you.
So
that park where they had the concerts and shit.
Right. Where normally we could have just looked up over the balcony, the balcony and been able to see it. But it was cool, man. It was cool. Like, it wasn't too much. It was actually, I appreciate it because it was standing. It was, a lot of it was mostly just general admission. Okay. It was an amphitheater, so, and there weren't chairs or anything. You could rent chairs or you could rent a blanket. I mean, we just stood up and just kicked it, and it was cool. Got out of there a little early before the crowd, and
yeah. Okay. That's hard, bro. And I seen y'all got a lot. I mean, I've always been fascinated with Art Basel, but it's just like, every year it's just one up the year before. I think I've seen a couple things on TikTok where there's like this huge library in the sand.
At the Faena.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna head over there today.
Okay. Yeah. Y'all got motion.
Yeah, they always do something dope on the beach where they'll have a lot of art, either exhibits. Like, I think last year they had
elephants.
Elephants.
Yeah, I remember that.
The elephant-sized elephant.
Yeah, big joint. I do remember that. I think that's back this year because I think I've seen it.
Oh, there's more elephants?
I think I've seen it on the TikTok too.
Good, because I didn't get to see it last year.
Yeah. So. Let's go.
Oh, so it's my youngin's birthday.
What you got in there? Big Finn in the building.
It's Frankie baby birthday.
Okay, Big Frank.
Hold on. Keep going with the comments. My fault. I just had to send that.
Yeah.
I'm terrible with birthday text, so when I get the alert,
gotcha.
Rock out.
Big Steve in the building. Big Finn.
We gotta say Big Finn's. We get the daily. Marcus Aurelius. When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love, man. Yeah, you know what I'm realizing? I had no plans at all of going in this direction.
This is how you usually do it, though.
It's no plans at all, but just from a conversation yesterday, actually with Matt, and I realized why so many people don't jump out the window and do their own thing, whatever that looks like for them. And I realized that the times where you're questioning yourself the most, you're questioning whether you should keep moving forward with this, you're seeing the money drained out of your account, you're seeing all these things happen, that's when you really got to lean in. That's when, like, we would pay money to have that type of focus because it forces you to lock in on figuring out a solution or figuring out how to make whatever that one thing that you're leaning into is, how to make that happen, how to bring that to fruition. The urgency is there, the energy. So it compounds in a different way than when you know you're good. Or if you know, like, I got a little savings, I'm not really tripping. But when it comes down to like, no, this is it. Like this will happen. This has to happen. This is happening. It just shifts in a different mindset. And for me, the struggle that I've always had is knowing that it's always going to work out and accepting it and expecting it with, oh man, like those negative thoughts that creep into our mind where you start questioning stuff. And to me, that always just delays the blessings. It always delays the picture from being painted fully and those opportunities now to come your way. And when you just sit back, and I've been challenging myself to do this even while driving in traffic. Like, it's like this mental exercise where you just sit back and it stops stressing, bro. Traffic's going to open up for you. Like, you can control a lot of these things that occur. But that's off the deep end too much.
What y'all was kind of hitting on? Just kind of like
questioning certain stuff. You know, it's expensive to live in Miami. And a lot of times, if you don't have something consistent, you get in that position where you like, yo, I don't know if, you know what I mean? And we were having some of these conversations with some other people who were going through that. And like, my mindset now is so different than what it used to be. Like, my mindset now is like I still have that hesitation where I'm questioning stuff where, you know, it may impact my mood for a sec, but then I'm like, nah, bro, like, come on now. This is what you're going to end up telling the stories about. This is what you're going to be on stage telling the lessons about. Like, yo, this is when you got to keep pressing the gas. Like, it's not going to always come to everybody easy. And these are the stories that are built. These are the characters. This is how you build the character, building the perseverance. Like, we look at this when it comes to sports. This is what gives us our sports advantage. You know, this is what gives us our life advantage, sports, you know, understanding that every positive that comes from sports usually comes from some type of pain and sacrifice.
Yeah.
Every positive. And, you know, so it's the same thing with life. It's the same thing with trying to accomplish anything in life. Like, it's going to go through certain things. I got to take time away from maybe something else to lean into this. I got to do better, delegate, all these different things. But the definite thing that I'm not doing is stopping. You can't stop the momentum, can't stop the motion, and just give up and get in that limited mindset, at least for me.
Yeah, I agree. It does get nerve-wracking, and you know, you really gonna test your faith. But at the end of the day, the recipe is very similar. As long as you don't stop, you're gonna just figure it out eventually.
That's it.
That's all you got to do. Just be
a lot of people can't handle my fault. I mean, it's delayed.
I always get that. Like, if you don't keep, but yeah, if it's not, if you stop, then it's different. But I get it. It's definitely not for everybody. You know, you're gonna spend more. You're gonna have more situations that will test your faith in all different type of avenues. But once you get a taste of that good life, you ain't going back. You ain't going back. Once you taste what it looked like to book your own itinerary, bus a play when you bus it, do what you want to do when you want to do it. You chasing that high. You chasing that high school varsity dream forever. So yeah, I agree.
The freedom, bro. Freedom. Like, everybody's people, and that's how I guess that's when you find out what you're really doing it for. You know, if you're just willing to just give up something that you've been working so hard, like, did you really, like, was that really what you were trying to do? So I don't know. I owe somebody some money. I'm not even gonna say why. All right, let's I don't even know what we're gonna start with. I guess we'll start with what's on the front of the screen. So let's take a look at this. So I said Trump, here goes the colonizing getting ready to occur right in front of our face. So I think I have a couple videos regarding that with Trump, and then one on Marco Rubio, and I'm sure we'll just bounce around from there. But let's get this first one shared, so at least we can have something that has to do with the thumbnail, because I know a lot of times I'll put up a thumbnail, we won't even talk about it. But let's get to this video.
Yeah, I got to start doing a good job logging in and looking at the thing from their view.
Thumbnail, yeah.
I know what's going on.
Nah, that's on me. That's on me. All right, let's get to this real quick. Listen to what Trump had to say. Do I need to read any of the fine print? So no, we're good to go. This is Trump discussing African resources. Of course, we have nothing but good intent.
Today, the United States is also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody. And we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries. And we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money. Today, the United States is also signing our own.
Does anybody believe this? And make sure y'all like, please make sure y'all like. That's going to help boost the algorithm. We didn't tell y'all first thing, so make sure you like if you can. What comes to mind when you hear this?
I'm not gonna lie. Run it back so I can give you that good thorough.
Everybody listen. And once again, this is no. I had to listen to it a couple times.
Yeah.
Still, just now, I'm like, okay, I'm hearing things because, and this is the point of all this stuff. When they start talking about certain things and using different language, it's like, wait. You mean you're about to just go in there and take their resources? Like that's what, like all this other, like that's what I think they just said. Listen to it again.
Bilateral agreements. Today, the United States is also signing our own bilateral agreements with the Congo and Rwanda that will unlock new opportunities for the United States to access critical minerals and provide economic benefits for everybody. And we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies over to the two countries. And we're going to take out some of the rare earth and take out some of the assets and pay, and everybody's going to make a lot of money. Today, the United States is also signing, and we'll be involved with sending some of our biggest and greatest companies.
So they're going to be sending we're going to be sending our biggest and greatest companies to Africa. You know what's funny?
Oh, Glade, double check if the mic is plugged.
Oh, yeah.
I think I can tell if it, because you can hear an echo.
You're a real one. Now it's good.
Okay.
So for everybody that just heard the difference, if y'all ever hear me talking without the mic, and I got this Shure mic in front of me,
and it don't sound like, and it don't sound like a smooth operator.
Yeah, it's really Streamlabs. We were talking about this beforehand. We gotta, even if you click the mic, you have to actually click off of it and then click it back on just to kind of do a little reset, whatever. But let's get back to the video. My fault. Where were we?
You basically say you're explaining it. Basically what he's trying to say without saying it.
Right. So it's so funny to me how we have this America first. Like we can understand, like this is something that I think Democrats and Republicans can get behind, putting Americans first, like prioritizing America. Obviously, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that Democrats and Republicans will probably never see eye to eye on, but this seems to be one that brings everybody together. Does this only apply for our country? Like, do we not look at other countries and say, like, yeah, they should probably be putting, their own first as well? And I think I hear it in different ways where, like, I heard a Elon clip and Elon was talking about, and maybe we'll play it after this one, or we'll play it eventually. And he was talking about, yeah, we need to keep France, or whatever he was saying. I forget exactly what it was, but it seemed like he was saying, like, it's important to keep that culture what it is in that particular country. And perhaps he was just saying that to keep people out of here. I don't know what exactly he was saying it for. It's kind of funny that he would say that as somebody that came from South Africa to America, but neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. But what about the African countries putting the African countries first? Why does anybody believe that America going into any of these other countries, especially when it comes to Africa, or continents, countries in Africa. But do you think that when America is going into African countries, that they're actually doing it with intent to help the African countries, that they're actually they're living by what they would want done to them? They're treating others the way they want to be treated. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like America first. Okay, we all get behind that. We get that. But don't try to sell us on something acting as if you're coming to be somebody else's savior when one, our country needs saving.
They've been
and
doing
two,
that.
that's all you ever do is strip brown and black countries of resources.
Mm-hmm.
That's what ends up happening if we're just being real.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you.
Yeah, that's what's going on. It's just, rather than just coming out and saying what it is so that there's no confusion about what's going on, they always try to like embed it with like either pride or always slap the America on it, like we voted for this shit, or always acting like they went ahead and found something that will benefit us. Like, when's the last time we went digging in somebody else's shit and it's just we felt the impact? No, y'all find a way to extort the joint, run it up. Somebody with the big bag finds a way to get in there, and we don't see nothing. Y'all do it. They colonize America like that. Like in present day, when we go through conflicts or we go through natural disasters, they find a way to extort the American people. The same way they're going over there is what they did in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. Same way that what they did in California with the fires. Like, you don't see just this, oh shit, let's rally, let's get behind. It doesn't feel very American first when insurance companies are pulling the insurance on the houses in California in the middle of a fucking fire. Like, we don't even handle the shit here. You ain't got to sell me on no more about this timeshare y'all about to invest in. We know how y'all get down. If at any point you are telling me you are helping me, I know you helping you first. And so that's the sad part, that we even have to hear this and just know, okay, what's the sales pitch? Like, I'm waiting for the sales pitch at the end, like standing on the sales floor, just waiting for him to be like, all right, just tell me the price, man. What's this going to cost me? Because it's going to cost the American people something. It's either going to cost them some type of morality. It's going to cost them some type of stress. It's going to cost some type of, it's going to cost the American people something. It's never going to just be a full benefit and we going to make no money. Mm-hmm. If that was the case, y'all would have been locked in and just focused on what we got going on here and trying to bring that to its base, to its best capability. But we always digging in somebody else's backyard before we start digging in our own. But yet we expect immigrants and other people to come down to America and take the pride in America like we say we have it. Mm-hmm. But every time we look up, I see us raking somebody else's yard and leaves and looking for what we want in somebody else's yard, then getting upset when they say get out of here.
Right. Like if Trump can stand at a meeting and saying we don't want Somalis, go back to your shithole countries, whatever he's saying, or garbage countries. He said that the other one before.
Right.
Bro, I don't think these African countries and a lot of Venezuelan country, I don't think that these other countries want America involved in anything that they got going on.
Absolutely.
Like, stay out of our country.
Right.
Like, here you are talking about you telling the citizens of all these countries that are apparently terrible that you want no involvement with to stay out of America. But then those same countries that are terrible that you apparently don't want their people to come here, you think that it's okay for us to go and take their resources. And Phyllis wrote that she said, I think Nick said, if we don't take it, someone else will. I heard Nick talking in regarding Venezuela. I think it was either Venezuela or I think it was the Venezuelan situation where he was saying it's not your gold if you can't protect it. Like, that was the mindset. That's the mindset of a colonizer, bro. Like, that is truly a colonizing mindset. It is no different. But what do we always say? When you have a country that was founded on colonizing, on committing a genocide, on ethnically cleansing a population of people within the last 500 years, let's say, are we surprised by us thinking that it's okay for us to continue that mindset and go and rape and pillage just like no different than Christopher Columbus did coming here. Now we're going to go to these African villages, and because we can put some political, rhetoric around it, that we think it's any different than us just exploiting other countries. Like, we're no different than what did it's like the mob, one of their big businesses, and a lot of other gangs and stuff, they're extorting. Like America, we just extort other countries. We export other countries. We drain their resources for what's good for America. We'll make whatever excuse that we need to invade and take power, to send our powerful troops there, to bully everybody into doing whatever it is that we want to do. And then we wonder why. We wonder why the rest of the world hates us. We wonder why we got all this negative energy always coming back our way. We wonder why. We are that group. We are that group.
Yeah. No matter how you paint it, it just continues. It just continues. I'm reading these comments. Critical.
Oh, shout out to Finny. I didn't see that. Yeah. I was coming at Nick, man, the other day. I was coming at Nick.
Oh, okay.
Because all of them, bro, all of them, Nick, Trump, the energy is just so different when it comes to the black and brown countries. Like, yo, if you really want to challenge something, it's the same thing that we were saying the other day. If you really want to challenge something, then challenge that person over there that's been bullying you all year. Like, don't come to the playground and try to pick on the kid that everybody can pick on.
Yeah, go after God.
Why don't you go address that issue over there, the dude that's been picking on you? Why don't you go over there with that energy? Don't come over here with that energy with the 4th and 5th graders. You're in middle school. Bring that energy to the middle school kids.
They well aware of what's going on. They know that energy don't work with everybody, and it just continues to kind of show. Like, we keep beating on our chest, talking about some we stand on business and America first, but it's just like, in order for us to really push this America first initiative, like I know we can and we're going to do, we're gonna have to put some people. We're gonna have to get some people out of that Oval Office. We're gonna have to vote certain people in the office who understand how to move on principles and morals. We're gonna have to. There's no way to do it with cowards in positions and always using excuse of, I was scared they were bringing fentanyl, so let's hit them with the double tap. No, we need people that are willing to stand and have a conversation first, and then if it's up, it's up. Not always trying to flex on somebody, not always trying to enter somebody else's country. Like, we can barter with countries, but your hand is your hand, America. At some point in time, can you just play the hand that you were given? You just can't go looking at everybody's cards and seeing how you can benefit off of this. It's spades. Look, you ain't got no spade. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down. You ain't got no spade. Find a way to play the game. If you're running low on oil, go electric. Go Tesla with your mans in them that you was doing all that boom shakalaka and went at the beginning when you got in office. Now y'all beefing. Find a way. We just talked about it, right? We just said, when you ain't got that reinsurance and you ain't got that comfort, it's going to really expose who you are. So when shit start getting tight, when situations start getting the pressure that's on, you're going to have to find a way to pivot and make it happen. But you keep using the same strategy, then turn around and the American people keep paying for it. Then our military got to keep paying for it. Then everybody with a Men's Warehouse suit, untailored, keep telling men that is willing to go lay their lives on the hand. And all y'all give them is a flag, a coffin, and some handwritten letter and tell them they should be prideful for the shit. Stop selling that.
You said untailored suit, bro.
I'm just seeing my man, the guy you put up right here.
That's Rubio.
Okay. I'm just not seeing I'm not seeing like that tailored cut like I'd appreciate for somebody I know who getting money. I would expect a little more, but hey, it is what it is. But I'm just not going to keep accepting they keep selling this shit to American people. See, what I'm going to start doing, I'm going to start claiming American. I'm American. I can speak like this now.
Oh, I'm American.
I'm American.
Yeah, I'm American
first. Yeah. I kept on identifying myself like, nah, I'm black, or nah, I'm American. I don't care how I got here. And I know who I'm standing with. I'm standing with the American folks.
I'm with the people. I'm with the people.
I'm in the trenches. I'm an ear to the streets. So my American people, we don't like seeing the kids not feel safe to go outside. We don't like seeing parents not come home. We don't like seeing people go do dummy missions. Nah. When I see somebody in that army fatigue, I see family. I see fathers. I see my brother. I'm not co-signing none of that shit. Just as much as if I see something happen to somebody that look brown, or if I see something happen to somebody who look Palestinian, I ain't going for none of it. That's what America's supposed to be. They're supposed to be empath because we are a melting pot, and it's going to be what's going to be. You know what I mean? Y'all got all the flags in the Oval Office. I see that's the Kenyan flag, ain't it?
Come on, bro. Don't put me on no spot like that.
I think it is. I believe.
I think you're right because that's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then that's the Kenyan
I see
flag.
the green. I didn't see the green at the bottom. All right, I see the green.
Yeah. So we Americans. And so for the black people, it's okay to stand up for politics. It's okay to get involved. For the women, it's okay to get involved. It's okay to state your opinion. American doesn't look one way. It's not a white guy. It's not a black person. It's not a woman. It's us. It's people, the heartbeat. And we have an expectation that we got to give back to the younger generation and give them the vision and give them the study guide that we have already taken. And so it's going to be very important that we continue to speak up because America will only continue to diversify its people and the people that are going to get involved in politics. We're not going to allow the same type of look with the same type of rehearsed, soggy outfits be the ones that are doing the speaking on behalf of my American people. So that being said, we in the spaces, we in the room, we coming in with the skis, we coming in with the scullies, and we ain't expecting change. And if you're not off that, get the hell out the way. But that Men's Warehouse shit got to go. Stop selling me shit you lying about. You know you going in that country to benefit and extort them people. We not for that.
And everybody knows it.
And everybody knows it. And if I find out that you on the record telling me a lie like you are right now, and I find out there's some shady shit that come on the back end, my people in America are going to find out either through Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to get you out of there. So choose your words wisely when you're speaking to my American people. We're not off none of that BS and all that fake shit. Keep this shit a bean or get the hell out the way. That's our standard in America. We want truth first.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the energy. All right. So after this video, I want to show you another video just based on the things that you're saying, because everything I hear you saying is like, yo, we're seeing it now. Like, you're not going to continue to lie to us when we're actually seeing the entire play. Like, you have to do something differently. You have to adjust. You can't continue this with the same political games that people did previously because, yeah, we have TikTok. We have Instagram. We have AI. I can type in like, yo, Trump said this today. Has this been his stance? Is this consistent with and then they'll give me a whole bunch of videos. Like, you can't get away with the same stuff that previous politicians have gotten away with. And now this perhaps would have been extremely bad for some of the previous presidents, let's say like a Bush or some of these other people that may not have, it seemed like they were a little bit slower connecting some of the dots. But no, I'm being real. But you know,
the word usage is just phenomenal. Like, so
I would have
never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it in a super negative way. That's the best way that just came to mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, you get certain people like that, perhaps even like a Barack Obama. You know, you got all the slick talking and the finesse to the point where we hear the speech and we just like
drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, matter of fact, yeah. Everybody else clapping? Yeah. We don't even know what we're clapping for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you could put somebody, like, you can literally put an entire speech, like, hey, this is the transcript. Put this speech in the AI. What is it?
Transcribe.
Transcribe this. Yeah, transcribe this. And the same thing with like Hitler's speeches now. They got them in English.
Yeah.
They got AI putting them in English now.
Yeah.
So
Joe Rogan broke one down.
You're not going to just throw stuff out there and expect what was happening previously. Like, yeah, those same the kids, all of us in our basement, you know, that energy, people, these kids at home, they're not doing anything. Yeah, they're on their phones though. They consuming that content. So if they're into it, which a lot of the youngins now are getting more into the politics, more into, you know, what all these lies that we've been sold on, it's not gonna land the same. It's not gonna land the same.
And like just like Less Simplified said, and we paying attention.
Yeah.
We paying attention now.
Yeah.
We're not believing it anymore. Like you got the salesman look on you. We walking through the mall shopping and we see you saying, excuse me, can you come here? Oh, okay. Yeah, we heard that speech a couple times beforehand. I'm good, bro. I'm good. That's what we on. We listening.
And they think that they, like Rubio and a lot of these other politicians, I think they're in for a rude awakening because they see Trump doing the BS. And they don't realize that Trump, the only reason why he got the buzz that he got, first off, Trump's been the guy for a very long time before politics.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So it's different. But they see Trump say certain things, contradict himself, lie, do whatever it is. And they think that they can get away with the same thing. Y'all are not Trump. People are legit fans of Trump. As soon as you are no longer aligned with Trump because Trump's not in office anymore, people are going to look at you completely different. Like you're not going to be able to get away with the stuff just because you're attached to his administration. It's not going to happen like that. So Rubio can continue to push a lot of these things, and a lot of people in this administration, they're going to have to stand on everything that they did while Trump was in office after he's no longer in politics anymore. They're going to have to stand on that. Those things are going to be on record. What you voted for, what you were pushing, the things that you were saying, and that stuff is going to come back to haunt a lot of these politicians, in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm loving when I see critical thinking say at one point American dream was real. Find a good company, be loyal, retire. You got find a good company, be loyal, retire. That was real. Then outsourcing in stock market, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, you had a lot of the American people had confidence in what the game plan was, you know, and it was passed down. The reason our parents tell us to get a job, you know why? Because at one point in time, that was the answer. That was the play. And then somebody at some point, politics took a hard left turn, and it became more important to benefit and have the people that are in politics have that type of security than it was for the people that were working for these companies that devoted the 30, 40, and 50 years. And once we let that wolf into the chicken coop, we ain't never been able to get that motherfucker out. But now we here. We exposing it. As soon as he come in there with that fake ass suit, and we see that wolf start trailing and tracking the outskirts of the coop, somebody doing this. That's what they doing. That's what the young bulls doing. They said, hey, y'all, I don't even know what the fuck this shit is. I don't know what it's saying, but something off about this one. And now the light's on. And then this is what the people do next. They go like this. Then they put the light in their face. And they say, okay, you see him? Y'all see him? And then they post it on TikTok. Get the hell out of here with this bullshit. We ain't buying on none of that. Get y'all asses out the way.
Yeah. People not going for it.
They're not going for it.
People are not going for it. Let's hear what he's talking about, because I think he's talking about giving some colonizing energy in this little speech that he's given.
And so for us, the first, we hope to sign many of these in the days to come. But the first one we're going to sign is with Kenya. And the reason why is twofold. Number one, because of our close partnership. Number two, because they have stable and strong institutions, both in government and in the healthcare sector. And over the next few years, we're going to be investing $1.6 billion in health assistance over the next 5 years. And you'll see how that program works out. But the investment is in combination. It will allow us, first of all, to leverage the private sector to create a sustainable U.S. health assistance model around the world, and not just in Kenya, but this is the perfect place to prove that it's going to work, because it is going to work. And what it means is that money is not just going to be spent to provide medicine and care, it's going to be spent to improve the domestic infrastructure, healthcare infrastructure, so that in 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years, countries will say, we no longer need this much assistance, if any, because we have our own system.
Bro, you talking about going to another country and helping their healthcare system? And he started off talking about, yeah, they have stable something institutions. If they have all this stability there, then why is America getting involved when we don't have that same stability here? Isn't that just recently why the government just shut down? Wasn't one of the biggest things what the Democrats weren't feeling because they were going back and forth with the Affordable Care Act? Like, what if we have so much instability when it comes to our health? Why are we trying to get involved with other people's stuff? Let them serve their community how they want to serve them. I don't know. Maybe I don't believe that any Kenyans came over here asking for Americans' help. And if they did, it's probably the high-ranking politicians that are just looking to make deals like our high-ranking politicians. So it's not putting the people first, because any Kenyan would look at this and say, well, is this America? Is this Kenya first? This is not a Kenya first program. This is the colonizer coming in, making something sound good. Hey, we're making a big investment here. We're going to be providing them medicine. Oh, so this is a big pharma play. So now we can get our big pharma companies selling medicine and to the Kenyans. That's what this is all about. All these wars, all these whatever we're doing when it comes to draining the resources from these people. Think about it. Wars, what do they create? They create an opportunity for us to do whatever to make a whole lot of money with our military industrial complex. Now what we're doing in Kenya, what we're doing in a lot of these other places where we're going to be providing medicine. What does that do? Allows our big pharmaceutical companies to make a whole lot of money. So Marco Rubio, Donald Trump, they can all serve as salespeople. Get them a nice check, or get somebody in their family, a nice check. Hey, this is to support some of the things that you're doing. This is the lobbying. This is how all these things work. Or they'll give Donald Trump Jr. a consultant job, while Trump's in office. This is how all these things work. Us now going to Venezuela to drain them of their resources. Oh, no, it's about them bringing in little fishing boats or whatever these little boats are. It's because they're bringing these things with fentanyl and they're killing our kids, even though Big Pharma is probably the responsible more than anything else for having our kids addicted to these opioids and addicted to these drugs. Oh, no, let's go drain them of their resources. Every single little thing. And I got to tell us, as Americans, just like we said earlier, how we identify as Americans, BK, all this energy that we're putting out to these other countries, we are held accountable for that. We can't just get out of that and say, oh, I'm not American because it's not convenient for me to be American right now. All of this stuff that we're doing, like when Osama bin Laden wrote that letter saying that because America supports Israel and all the things that they're doing in this region, the chaos that they're committing, the demonic behavior, all these things, he didn't specify and say, oh, nah, only the white elite or only this group, only that group, no, he said Americans. So all this energy that we're putting out when we're colonizing these countries, when we're committing or supporting the genocides, supporting the ethnic cleansings, all of these things, bro, they're going to come back to all of our doorstep. And we can't sit there and say, look, I had nothing to do with that. That's on all of us. Mm-hmm. We're all held accountable. Mm-hmm. So,
no, you spitting. That's true. This is the predicament that you put the next wave, the next group of kids, the generation after you. You put them in this type of situation that they're not even built for this shit. Mm-hmm. Half of these people that are the young Americans have morals. They have respect. They have vision. They have information. They're doing their research. They're understanding history. So that when they're moving with a moral compass, but we still have immortal people in high positions making decisions that are going to affect their children, this is the shit that happens. Mm-hmm. Every time we let a war slide and one of these fake motherfuckers go in here and say what the fuck they saying, it's the kids going to have to figure out how the fuck to buy a crib. You know what J.D. Vance said a couple weeks ago? He said the reason that we have a housing crisis is because the immigrants are moving into the fucking houses. I can't eat. I can't believe he is in a place where nobody's pulling up to the mic like, yo, are you serious? Are you okay? You have no friends to check this behavior, this bad behavior. What's your circle look like? And then you gonna tell. So your excuse to the kids that their parents put 50 and 60 years into a company, they may have 150,000, 200. If they didn't take an insurance plan to leave their kids, they don't even have a fucking house to leave their kids. And if they did leave them a house, the house is fucking standing on 2 stilts. So you leave them a fucking headache. They're going to sell the house that their parents worked their entire life to get in for maybe 50 or half of the equity that their parents spent 50 years to pay for it. So you already sold so the bank's already benefited off of my parents' back. Then of course, I'm buying a home for my kids. Your kids don't want that home. Mm-hmm. They don't want the home in random fuck, whatever. They don't want your house. It's just not the way though. They want the open floor plan. They want the
open floor plan.
They want the panoramic
crib.
Yeah, like they want the walk-in closet. They don't want the shit with the popcorn ceiling. They don't want the shit with the carpet floors. Like, sorry, ma, don't even feel like you giving them something no, just sell the shit, get the equity, give them cash. They don't want your house. Just being honest. Not to mention, nobody's fighting tooth and nail for your house to begin with. This shit is based on education systems. It's based on police systems. It's data driven. Your house ain't as dope as you thought it was. But that's what you sold my parents. So they fought tooth and nail to say, oh, I got to go give my kids the American dream. I'm going to give them the crib. They don't want that crib in the hood. That shit is too small. And then you turn around and then lie to the kids and tell them, shit. This little thing we told the people to go get all these houses. Look, these shits ain't even moving. They're not selling. It's the immigrants' fault. Man, what the fuck? This is what a lack of accountability looks like. This is what lying in front of my face. And it sounds so ridiculous that I'm more pissed off that you lying about a mistake that you made than you would if you just told me that was the intent to begin with. I'm disappointed, JD, that you could stand there and even have the confidence, put oxygen in your lungs to tell me some shit that now I got to go tell my kids so they can look at immigrants funny and blame them because you don't want to take accountability. We getting these people out of here, bro. These type of lies about what y'all doing and what y'all say y'all gonna do, then go over there and get up in there and bend over backwards when Israel get into the room. Yeah, now we not off none of that. If you soft, we ain't got no space for you on this team. We only want cats that's ready to lock in, put their chin straps in and run on principles and put American first, period. If you put in your pockets first, or you in bed with these big farmers, or you in bed with the FDA, we exposing it, we calling it out, and we gonna target the shit out of your company. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna spend our dollars with it. We're gonna invest in our communities. We're going small business. We're not taking the medicine. It's gonna be a lot more TikTokers, a lot more Instagrammers, a lot more YouTubers teaching, you know what, you don't need this, or this is what this has in it. Or you know what? This is why your mom was taking this prescription drug her entire life, and she never was cured for that disease that she claimed that she was supposed to be cured for. We're exposing it. So now the white doctors the white coats have an obligation. You got to start being honest to me. If I walk in your office and I chat GBT and you don't try to hit me something that you gonna get a benefit or a kickback from, and I find out, I'm not spending my money here. Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to hit them in their pockets. We're gonna have to show them, nah, you're not gonna keep telling me you more concerned about fentanyl, but you ain't got no issue with the chemicals that you put into my children's foods, their diapers, their baby food, dog food, the eggs, GMO. Don't tell me about no fentanyl. I don't have a problem with my kids running around sniffing shit. I got a problem with my kids running around eating shit. So don't tell me what's important in my house. You know the principles. As an American, I feel like we should have the right to good, clean food, good, clean water, and an education system that's going to come in somewhere. Y'all done took those 3 too and started lying about how those are coming down the pipeline. And then I look up, your kids are in private school. You put them in public then. I find out your kids are eating organic, but with my kids, I can't. But you at Whole Foods, but I'm at Kroger. You moving around and you living in the best areas with the nice picket fence, and my kids is I'm running tooth and nail, working 2 jobs. Me and my husband. My kids are forced to stay in my house for longer than they probably would have wanted. They're not able, but your kids are straight. This shit ain't looking too good, bro. The true leaders are sacrifice their own personal gain, their family, to make sure that the people around them eat first. You eat last, motherfucker. Y'all started eating first now. What happened? What happened to ladies first, my people first? I eat last. This is why you got to stop putting cowards in office. It's unacceptable the way that they have changed us. There's no reason that we should speak about sports like it's the last of a dying breed in this country. There's no reason that sports should be our only depicted. We can't look nowhere else. We can't look in the religion. We can't look in a store. We can't trust the store. All we have is our experiences through sports. That's all y'all have left for. That's the only time that men were focused on being men. That leaders were focused on being leaders with one common goal. And then we find out you guys find a way to make and monetize that too. Stay out my American people's pockets. They work 12 months of the year and y'all taking 6 months of their income. And then they look up and they don't have anything to leave behind their children. And they did everything that y'all told the Americans to do. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. Nah, we speaking up for the people that may not be as strong as I may be, as Dak may be. Miami might not be in their horizon. That doesn't mean they don't deserve good food, good education, and something to eat. And that's what we fighting for. And that's what we speaking for. Because you know what? They're not going to say nothing. And so while we living in our cribs and we trying to get on the sand and hit Art Basel, we going to make sure that we speak for the people that may not experience what Art Basel is. We're not going to forget them because y'all forgot them. So we going to speak up for all them people. You got to have your checks and balances. It's unacceptable how these people can buy in to this delusional shit and expect the American people to keep buying into that. Why they struggling tooth and nail. College degree don't mean anything. I got this whole college degree win $80,000, $90,000 in debt. And you tell me I can't find a decent job? And nobody's going to stand up and speak up like, yo, we fucking up. That's not right. Like, nah, the people ain't off none of that. You told me to go get the. So now y'all told me, oh, the 4-year degree don't matter. Yeah, go get the AC job. Go get the trade job. How many times we got to flip this shit, man? We just got our degree. Now y'all telling me to go be a fucking, go get into a trade? You could have saved me the $80K, man.
Shoot, you could have saved me a couple years of high school. You could have saved me all this stress. Like we could, because you. And when I say save me a couple years of high school, if you choose to graduate high school, then cool, that's on you. But a lot of these things can be started at a very young age. Very young. My buddy of mine that owns his own business, his pops passed it down to him. He could have ran that business when he was in high school. He knew so much about that business. He was past the pill early. If you could teach me the Pythagorean theorem, at a teenage, then I could damn sure learn how to make it make sense with, being a mechanic, learning a plumber, learning how to use my hands. If I could learn how to play safety in the 4-3 and you know what I mean? If I could learn the different things when it comes to a football playbook, then I can damn sure learn what it takes to become a master plumber, to learn these trades to where I wouldn't go into that debt and I'd be starting at a much earlier age.
Absolutely. Now the kids in the neighborhood, they no longer robbing and putting ski masks and getting in trouble. They building these trade businesses together. They're jumping in their car. That's what I love about the Hispanic community, because I grew up in a predominantly Hispanic area. From the age of their kid being even physically able to walk, and them only being able to have enough income for them, and the mom typically stays at home. And if not, she does, she finds a way to bring in some income. It won't always be like a formal job, but it may be like cleaning houses or something along the lines of that, or of the people that I would grow up. Bro, the kids be on the contract or on the construction sites at like 16, 17, 18. As soon as they get off school, They off to the site on Fridays, Saturdays. They off. Their dad is teaching them painting, roofing, all this stuff. Brother, proof is in the pudding. That's what these other countries are doing. The guy that I know here that owns every Dunkin' Donuts in Georgia. His dad started that. My boy that went to John Cho, Cleaners, 6 locations. His dad passed him that. My boy Amir, a Middle Eastern auto glass company. Anytime these cars get broken into, they're going right to his dealership and getting it half for what insurance going to charge him. His dad had all the locations. Now he passed it to his son. He's scaling it. But why do they keep telling the Americans to not do that? How come they don't sell that to us? Like, hey, start your business, start your LLC. How come they don't teach us that? So you're telling me that people from another country who don't even understand the language in its entirety are coming here and benefiting from the resources of America faster than the Americans? And then you have the nerve to turn the American people on the immigrants and say it's the immigrants' fault? Get them out of here? No, you weren't teaching the American people. That wasn't your focus, because you appreciate them when they're sitting in them cubicles and they're paying 50% of their taxes are going to y'all.
And a lot of times they'll teach us, but they won't tell us. And the reason why I say they'll teach us is because they'll show us in our actions. They'll show us in their actions. So when you get a guy like Rockefeller, who I believe was the one that when he got involved with the Board of Education, he was the one that said that, you know, we're not trying to create thinkers with the Board of Education. We're trying to create workers. But he's a thinker. He's an innovator.
Yeah.
He's a business person. So it's very clear. We, unfortunately, because a lot of these industries are very successful and a lot of these businesses are successful that don't want us to be thinkers and that just want us to be workers, and they do a tremendous job of incentivizing it. Hey, we'll give you 2 weeks off, holiday. You know what I mean? Like certain stuff that people are scared of. They play into people's fears. They play into people's fears of, oh, I may not be able to work. I may not be able to put food on the table. So we agree to these contracts where we work the majority of the year. Like you said, they're taking 6 months of our year in taxes or whatever it is, depending on what bracket you're in. They're taking away a lot of our money. They're not providing us anything in return for that, really. You know, it seems like we'd be better off by just taking care of our own health. If don't take my insurance out, no, I'll take care of my own health and I'll put money to the side for if I ever need this, because if I'm healthy, then chances are I'm not going to have to go to the doctor as much. Now, imagine if I could have pocketed all that money or put that into something that could accumulate money in a different type of setting rather than me just giving it to the insurance companies. Because when we just give our money to the insurance companies, what do we think they're doing with it?
We don't even ask.
Yeah, they're putting it into something that's growing. So therefore, whatever money that we give them, it's still worth it to them if we ever get injured and they have to pay a certain amount, because we've been not only paying them what we've been paying them, but they've been putting it into whatever account they're putting it into. So it is accumulating, it's growing as it's sitting there. So what it comes down to me for is what you said earlier. Like at the end of the day, there just needs to be better leadership and men that take the responsibility and accountability for leading families in these directions, for seeing past the BS, for not allowing somebody to tell me one thing that they're not doing themselves. You're doing this for you and your family, but you're trying to convince me that something else is most beneficial for mine. Why would I be a fool and sit back and just accept that? We said it earlier. Hey, we the generation where now we got access to a lot of this information. Our parents couldn't go on YouTube and just type in and learn about Grant Cardone and everything he's doing to just buy real estate. And like, they couldn't do that. They had to pay for courses. They had to reach out and either pay to attend these courses. We get this stuff by just Googling it. All of this stuff that we have access to. So, of course, you know, we could always, now I don't want to give an excuse as for previous generations, but as far as moving forward, like this is something that we have to have an extreme high level of urgency with. Like we have to compete. And a lot of people, when we accept these 9-to-5s, and you tell me if you think this as well, but it's almost like after you get out of this barter system, you know, we talk about capitalism and, you know, capitalism, that's just part of the system. But then there's the whole system of whether or not you have this barter type of arrangement and not bartering our time. See, we barter our time, our labor rather than bartering products. So if I make something, let's say, hey, I'm a farmer, so I have the milk. Okay, boom. Now I may trade that for you, BK. You may have, I don't know what you, let's say you have meat. You know, you farm, but you have cattle. So now we barter. Somebody else has honey. We're bartering. There's a different level of respect and appreciation for everybody rather than just going to a job, not really understanding how it all works, but just saying, hey, I'm just going to go to this job and expect my paycheck every 2 weeks. We don't even ever understand what our true value is on these jobs. We do not know what we're doing on an everyday basis, what that means money-wise to the company, because the company's very well aware of. The company is very well aware. They don't just pick a number out the hat and just say, oh, no, we'll pay him this for this role. We'll pay this for this role. They're very strategic based on what is the value that this type of person is bringing to this company. Okay, how can we convince them? How can we pay them half of what their value is and convince them that it's a positive thing?
Nasty
and we
work.
fall victim to it because
Nasty
not a
work.
lot of us are willing to understand how the businesses work. If we had more people that own t-shirt companies, then it would be very hard to go and purchase that YSL t-shirt or Louis t-shirt that costs $200, $300 when you realize that t-shirt costs $5 to make. It's very hard when you're informed. Now, you still may do it. You still may rationalize it, but you're going to be hesitant because you understand the scope of everything. You understand the true value of that. So it's harder for them to play you with the marketing. It's harder for you to fall victim to that. So.
No, that's true. You got to do. I know this person. This person got to be out of Miami. Pura Vida, ain't that the healthy?
That's what we said before, but no. Shout out to Pura Vida. Yo, I haven't seen that name in a while. Shout out to Pura Vida. So Pura Vida actually, and Maya's probably going to write it in the chat right now if she's listening. But Pura Vida actually means something like it's a certain type of greeting.
Oh, okay.
Or it means like the good life. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's the first thing I saw. I'm like, yo, that's the same. We got a Pura Vida at the spot.
In Miami, yeah. Exactly. I mean, a lot of these things that we know a lot more. And, you know, one of the most popular, as simple as this says, we also, I feel like our generation is also, we have the need, and we're seeing what is capable if we give and relay the information and pass it down. So we also feel the need, like, for the people that are older than our generation, like, we need your wisdom. Like, we need you guys to buy into these social media products. Find a way to get what you know and put it in on a channel like we're doing. Put it on a TikTok. Put it on an Instagram. Put it in the Discord. Keep passing this info down. I promise you, it will land exactly where it's supposed to land. Don't leave this planet and not leave this next generation with what they need. You guys have the answer. You have one thing that you can't purchase in a school. It's experience. It's life, real life experience. You guys see, you guys have a vision for things way beforehand. You guys know certain things. You've seen these things play out with politics before. We need these type of meetings and congregations with the younger generation so that you guys can give us the information that y'all know. Get on these platforms. Don't just ignore them and call them the devil. Yeah. Don't just make them, that's just not really my thing. No. It got to become your thing if you care about the next generation. This is the vessel that these young cats is communicating on. If you care about them, take the time to get involved, learn how to teach. I mean, some of the biggest TikToks on some of the biggest TikTok reels out there, or there's a guy by the name of American Dad, and he just teaches. It's for all the kids who don't have fathers. And he teaches them simple concepts like tying a tie. He teaches them how to put a suit together. Some of the millions of followers, just and it's an older man who just said, I'll just do it because he ain't have no kids. And he started doing it, and all the kids started following him. The kids want what y'all have. Even if they come off like they don't want to hear it, they don't want to say, nah, put that shit on social media. Let the algorithm take it to the people who need you. Inspire them And they will run the torch a lot further when they know that the older generation gave enough to put their information in what are those things, like those time capsules, and we can open it and we can utilize it. Like a lot of the information that y'all got to be passed down. So get on these platforms, call out the BS when you see these politicians doing what they did to y'all. When y'all seeing it, call it out, say something, save the next generation so we don't have to clean up the mess that a lot of these guys are doing right now, so the children don't have to figure it out. We're not going to war for sport no more. We're not off that. We're not sending kids to the military no more. We're not off of that. We're not telling kids go get a corporate job and just be happy you got it. We're not off of that. We check in everything that was told to us, because the people that told to us don't necessarily want to stand up and say they told us. And so we're building resentment because we're like, damn, bro, like we ain't even got a problem with you being wrong, but it's the fact that you won't say you were wrong. I got a bigger problem with that because that looks like ego. Mm-hmm. And when there's ego in the room, I don't want to be here. And that's usually what separates older generation and newer generation. But when both egos are left at the doorstep, there's a huge opportunity here for us to have some community and some camaraderie and some synergy for us to move forward.
Agreed. It's yeah, we're just seeing things, and this is all moving in a positive direction. And a lot of times, like, it may sound like we're complaining, yeah, but that's to fix the issue. That's for us to realize that we need to take a stand, that we need more leadership. Everything that BK is saying, yes, you need to speak up. It's a duty. It is our duty to leave this place in a better place for the next generation than it was for us. What better purpose could we have than to serve, right? And to your point earlier that you mentioned, as far as men being men, before we get into this next video, I wanted to ask you about this, BK, because when I think of men being men, I think of helping out the most vulnerable. Mm-hmm. I think about not trying to exploit the most vulnerable, but helping out, wanting to be the person that's gonna provide some type of aid, make somebody feel better, bring some positivity to somebody's life, not somebody who's punching down or somebody that's trying to take advantage. So perhaps for a lot of this stuff, it's us realizing, who we're looking up to, what type of influences we have, and then ultimately, how is that impacting us in the leadership that we're bringing in our families, our communities, and how that compounds to the masses. So, yeah, just some thoughts. There's some thoughts. All right, we got this. I think we got this next video that summarizes a lot of the things that we talk about, and I like the way that he positioned, or he stated his position, because I think a lot of people can identify with it. We have a lot of these conversations with Israel, Palestine, and a lot of times it's, us getting to the point where we're just pissed off. So we're calling out a lot of the things that are done. But I think he summarized it in a very good way. So we'll go through this video. We may not watch the entire 5 minutes, but we'll at least watch a bit of it and then stop in between and give some comments. So let me bring this up on the screen. Is it on? It is. Let's go.
Israel and the United States have already lost this war. And let me tell you what I mean. And I'm just going to be brutally fucking honest with you. All right. I don't mean to offend anybody, but I'm just going to be brutally fucking honest with you. Before this situation happened, my opinion of the Israel versus Palestine issue is that Israel was the good guys and everybody was trying to kill them. And they were surrounded by a bunch of Arab terrorists in all these different countries. And the people in Gaza and the West Bank were mostly terrorists, Muslim terrorists who just wanted to kill all the Jewish people, or they were protecting terrorists, one or the other, okay? That was my knowledge. That has what has been fed to me in the United States of America for the 54 years of my life. Now, I have educated myself on the situation. I know about the Nakba and Tantura. I know about the Israeli PR firm of Hasbara. I mean, I've now started to educate myself on this stuff. I've said to myself, well, why is all this happening? And so I learned about the 1953 CIA coup toppling the government of Iran, and then how that sparked the Iranian Revolution in 1979, which basically that it was the foundation of terror as we know it in the Middle East, right? we've learned about all of these things, okay? And we've learned that the United States funds 16% of Israel's military budget. Israel, with their free healthcare for all, we give them billions and billions of dollars for bombs. We have learned so much in this conflict because the information is here in places like TikTok. And I hate to say this, but it's true. The only thing that is going to change this conflict is the horror of Western people like me right now that are seeing this and saying, holy fuck. But you have to understand something. We're just getting to this spot right now. And what we're seeing is that the Palestinian people have been undergoing this for 75 years. This is no different than anything else that they've gone through for 75 years. Entire generations. Okay? What's different about it this time? Westerners are finally speaking up. And unfortunately, that's the only thing the Palestinians can do to get their message out to the world, because the Zionist Israelis have they have a hold on the information networks and always have. That has now disappeared. And they're still trying desperately to frame the narrative on social media, but now people are seeing through it. Now we have things like TikTok where we can screenshot Israel's statements that they put out where they claim that they did bomb the hospital, and then we can see them delete them, and then we can see them come up with a new one that's this is a video, and then we can prove that the video is fake, and then we can follow everything that's happening. All we got to do is open our eyes and start looking, okay? And so this is what's going to happen. Israel's money is going to dry up from the United States. Right now, there's one thing that
And real quick, before we get into the second half of the video, so far what I'm hearing is what we always talk about and bring up, which is things only go checked when the people like, oh man, there was something that I think it was actually Shannon Sharp or somebody was saying. And it's like when the unimpacted get as pissed off about something as the people that are impacted, then that's when change can happen. And hopefully that makes sense. I'm sure I'm butchering the exact quote, but it's the same thing. When the good cops call out the bad cops, you know, that's when something changes. When the people that don't, let's say, aren't oppressed with slavery or slavery in general, the actual practice of slavery, when those people that aren't enslaved and don't have a threat of being enslaved, those people speaking out means a lot more than the actual people that are getting enslaved. So Palestinians have been speaking out, you know, pretty much waving at us for help for the last 75 years, and nothing has mattered. They've been complaining to people, it doesn't matter. But when the unimpacted, us, the Americans, when we're sitting back here looking at like, oh, what they got going on over there? Like, oh yeah, oh no, we're not cool with that. No, we're not standing with that. That's when things become adjusted. That's when things get called out. What we're seeing right now apparently is no different than what's been happening in that region. We're just now caring about it in a way to where a lot of these videos are going viral. So I don't know if you want to comment on the first part.
Yeah, that's very true. It's such a simple response to what he's saying. It's like not even like this, like super, like you got to really hack your brain. It's just true. And it's like, it seems like that's why we're always pushed to propaganda here in the States. It's because everybody needs us to either buy into what they got going on or what they're trying to hide. It's always the Americans they're trying to push certain stuff to. And so that does make us susceptible and very open to a lot of propaganda. And, you know, we tend to believe what somebody is showing us. But it doesn't, if we notice that when people are drowning or people need help, they're not going on TikTok trying to let anybody else, like they really want that influence from America, because they know the real true Americans that are not concerned about always lacing their pockets. They're the ones that morality are going to throw this type of shit and expose it. They're going to, when America gets a hold, when this younger generation, we don't shut up about shit. When we feel upset about, look what happened with George Floyd, and we didn't even have the facts. Niggas lit shit on fire, broke shit, burnt shit, beat shit, slammed shit. We didn't even have the facts yet. It was just up. That shit ricocheted across the world. That's how quick it is. So the American people now, these kids, the youth, we got the heartbeat. We be standing on everything. When I'm seeing women at Emory University stand up for what they believe in and don't give a fuck about going to jail, see, this is what we was looking for from the older generation. We always heard about these stories in history. But now I'm seeing these young people. I always talk about Dak in that space. When you hear about people like Malcolm X and you hear about people that are willing to go against the grain and the MLKs and things of that nature to stand what they believe in, it's like, oh, but hold on now. We got new ones. It's the people, it's people that are creating stuff like the OG network. It's people that are willing to expose it and stand on business. These are the new MLKs. Y'all better start treating them like some. I don't want the support when they dead and gone and all of a sudden, he was really trying to help us. Nah. We have an opportunity now to support them while they breathing. We got an opportunity to support the Candaces while they breathing. The people that are willing to go against Goliath in real time. And we can protect them. We can finance them. We can protect them. And we can get there and we can share their message. How the fuck you was going to do that 10, 50, or 50, 60 years ago? You couldn't do it. Now what they going to do? They can't stop shit now. So give me an MLK in 2025. Let's see what happens. Candace, #1 fucking viewed podcast in the world. Fuck out my face, CNN. That's an infrastructure that probably feeds, 150 people employed. Get that shit the fuck out the way. We got somebody who got a camera, a light in her home, put on more than social media platforms. Stop playing, bruh. We got the heartbeat.
When you look at it like that, damn.
That's crazy to think. The CNN headquarters is here in Atlanta. Bro, that shit is a mega building. You tell me one lady in her apartment with a drop light and a mic like this does more numbers than that? Yeah, this shit is scary for these people now. You saw what COVID did. Kat said, I don't want to go back to work. I don't want to go back into a facility. Change the shit. I want to work from home with my kids. Yes, sir. The fuck happened? Y'all be thinking like y'all don't be having the power. Look how they change when you put pressure. When the George Floyd shit popped off, niggas started burning shit, slamming shit. Regardless of where your opinion at, I'm talking about we noticed change ASAP. Once shit started getting slammed, broken and shit like that. So don't tell me, oh, we don't like war. We don't want war. Or don't tell me war is the answer. That's going to solve the issues. Nah, you ain't really got to have war to get the right people in office. Just shake that fucking tree. Let them know you here. Because they're not going to keep walking over to American people and act like their voices ain't going to be heard. We going to support the ones that's willing to speak up, even if we not willing to speak up. Because it ain't everybody, and that's okay. Everybody ain't going to be captain. But find your way to support the captains. Find your way for the people that's willing to sacrifice their roles, willing to eat last, willing to put America first, not lace their pockets up and lie to y'all. We ain't off them people. We are dumb. Dinosaurs ain't around no more. We don't have to be off none of that shit no more. If I don't want to work corporate, I literally don't fucking have to. Who the fuck won't tell me something else? I make more than the corporates. I don't have to. You don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. And that's don't get rid of that fuck it mentality. Because they fear you and scare you into thinking that's the only way to do it. Then you realize y'all lacing y'all pockets off this shit. How come I can go get a college degree and it costs me $150,000, but I can't go pull out $150,000 to start me a business? How come y'all got to go through all my pockets for me to buy my first home, but y'all don't go through all my pockets when I'm 18 to go spend $150,000 to go to University of Georgia? Y'all ain't credit checking. I want to go get a 1-bedroom in Miami. Y'all all in my fucking credit. Where was the credit when I had to get my student loans?
Yeah. Why didn't you check me on that?
Why you didn't check me? Why didn't you check my parents? Why you didn't check my income? Why didn't you run the statements? Why didn't you use Approved Shield when I have to show you my documents and make sure it's no fraud? Where was the energy at? Oh, Somebody benefits off all that. Okay, it's making all the sense now. Yeah, we're not doing that. Sorry, mom and dad, we just can't do what y'all want us to do no more because we seeing through it. Y'all may not know, but we seeing through this shit. We know it's a dead end to go sit at them jobs now. They killing our health. Y'all over there buying sandwiches. Y'all ain't got no time to spend with your kids. You got the public schools racing your kids. You ain't got no time. You can't go watch their games. They ain't got no confidence. They never could be what they thought they could be because they think their parents can't support them. And the parents was just trying to support the whole family and leave them some behind. And they got stuck in the rat race. And now look at the kids. They think their parents don't. Whole family torn apart. Off of just that structure path right there. Dads are out the home. They saying, fuck it. Mom's at work. She's trying to put a roof over the head. That's her reason. Kids, all my parents don't want to listen to me. You know what? I'm leaving. I don't want to fuck it. There you go. Separate, divide, and conquer. That's what they keep rolling us out. I'm not rolling. We're not rolling none of that. Oh, we're going to invade this for the Congo. We're going to get their natural. No, we're not supporting that. You're lying. We recorded you, and then we put your before and after video next to each other, and we hit enter, and it went viral. Sorry, you gotta change that, Trump. You gotta come back. That shit don't sound right. Now look, the old folks like, damn, the lies used to be so easy now.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, we're on the internet and it's stuck there.
Yeah, that's what happened. People started believing in the lies. Whenever somebody can convince you. Like, this is what these employers do. This is why when you go for a job, you never, I mean, not that it would even make sense, but you're never going to sit down with the owner of that company. The owner of that company that is trying to hire you to do a job would never do that job if they didn't have ownership in that company. And that's why they're the owner, and that's why you're the employee. But they convinced you that if you work this job for a certain amount of years, and this is why people were even offended by Ben Shapiro saying that, yeah, I don't think people should retire. I feel you getting offended by it because the government convinced you that you work this job, put your money into Social Security, we'll take care of your health insurance. You can start paying into this, start paying into that, but we're going to run it. It's going to go through us. And ultimately you'll be able to retire one day. Yeah, it's around the age where, they say most people are going to die anyway. So, yeah, we'll promise to make sure that we, take care of you until then. All of this stuff is crazy. All of this stuff is crazy. Perhaps one of the biggest things that people can do is, and maybe this will be a new cultural movement, pay me in 1099. I may not have my own business. Pay me 1099. I'll pay my taxes. I'll have my write-offs, the same write-offs that these companies that you work for, they write off a lot of their expenses that you can't write off. So you end up getting taxed more on. No. Pay me 1099. I'll take care of my health insurance. Oh, instead of paying this amount, no. How about this? Give me that lower plan, and I'll actually start eating healthier and getting in the gym. So I don't have to keep seeing these doctors and stuff like that. Oh, they're going to put this money to the side for this 401k or this program. No. If they're willing to match something, then imagine what it's really worth to them. Imagine what it could really be worth if they're willing to match something. Anybody that's willing to match, oh yeah, we'll match you this amount. Well, imagine what it's really worth. So imagine if you just took that money from your 1099 and started to putting it to something that grows and has interest and can accumulate some wealth. We're looking at things in a very lazy way. And I think perhaps when and this is the thing that we talked about yesterday, when you're running towards something and you want something to happen so bad, you can get finessed very easily. Our great-great-grandparents and our great-grandparents, for a lot of us, they were living lives that all of us, Jim Crow, like, oh my God, to the point where now we got the right to vote. Now we can have a home. Now they got certain programs to where people got very lazy and got very entitled. We didn't have the same urgency that people had during Jim Crow. That's why when you look at those numbers of what we were doing when there was Jim Crow, even coming out of slavery, even coming out of Jim Crow, you look at the numbers before they did those social programs, we were getting married at a much higher rate, which we all understand now because we talk about it all the time, the importance of having that nuclear family, especially with that strong father figure, that leader in the household. There was a sense of urgency. Now it's like, I can do bad all by myself. Now it's like, oh, I don't need a man. I got the government. Now it's like, oh, no, I could just go get a job. I can become my own breadwinner. I don't need to. It's a different mindset. There's no urgency where before there was a need to have a family. Everything was purposeful. The same way that a lot of other cultures treat their kids, where it's like, nah, you need to go become a doctor because we got our other son becoming the attorney, and then you're going to become that. That's what it used to be in America, especially. And I want to talk specifically about Black people because it just demonstrates the example, I believe, a bit better. Look at how Black people used to have kids. Oh, no, we need help on the farm. You got to have some kids. You can't just wait. I'll wait. I don't need to really have any kids. No, it was a necessity. So we got so comfortable in looking for something else and not having to have kids and not having to be married and not having to have a lot of these things that we had to have because there was a different society that we were living in. So it created a different sense of urgency. Now we don't have that. And we got tricked into accepting things that ultimately would put us in a position where we are 100% vulnerable to our boss getting in we are one argument away every day from us not knowing how we're going to put food on the table. We are one argument. We are one slick, somebody saying something slick to you and you not being able to control how you respond at work because somebody's trying to bully you because they're in a higher position. You are one bad response away from not knowing how to put food on the table. And they convince us that that's what we're going to go through pre-K through high school and then go get a degree and then maybe even get another degree after that. That's what they convinced us after doing all of that. We made that entire investment to now be one argument away from us not knowing how to put food on the table? Who's really the smart ones? Who's really the smart ones? The people that are developing trades that they can take their job. I'm like LeBron and Kobe. I could take my talents anywhere. I could take my talents to South Beach, or I could take my talents to middle of nowhere, Idaho, Oklahoma, and instantly have something in my tool bag, have something that I qualify as far as my tools and skills in order to serve a group of people to where I can start knocking on doors, handing out my business cards and letting them know that, hey, I'm a new plumber in the area. I'm a new mechanic in the area. I'm a new engineer. I'm a new electrician in the area, and you can sell your business. You can grow your business. And then when you eventually sell your business, you can make a lot of money off of it. But you're accumulating growth. You're putting value. We look at ownership in a household that we're not going to own for the next 30 years, and we think that's a great investment. But what ownership do we have in our actual possession as far as our own business? All we do is invest in somebody else's business, our boss's business, because they figured out what we're too lazy to figure out. That the only way to have security is to have your own business. Something that you can allow other people or have other people, you can pay them now in order to build the wealth of the business, build the value of the business, to sell at something much greater, and then you take all the profit. Meanwhile, everybody else got to go find a job. They may hit you off with a nice little bonus, and as big as that bonus is, just imagine what your bonus really should be. Imagine what your value really should be. It's a finesse. The entire 9-to-5 system, it's a finesse. How can I get somebody to give me X value and figure out a way to pay them X minus that value? X minus whatever, and that's what I want to pay them. That's the play. It's right in front of our face. However, and what's so funny about it is it's nowadays, it's so easy. Sell anything. Sell anything, create a YouTube channel, sell some t-shirts. You can start a lot of these businesses. Matter of fact, maybe we should figure out something to where people in their middle ages can learn a trade, learn a skill. I was talking to one of these doctors that I work with yesterday, and he's like, bro, I'm done. He's not even at an age where he needs to retire anything. He's just done because he feels like what he's doing in medicine is just not serving his purpose. It's making a lot of money, perhaps, but he's like, yo, I'm out. And I don't think he's made enough to where he can just not work for a while, or work for the rest of his days. But he's like, nah, I'll figure something else out. This is no longer serving me, bro. I'm miserable. I'm depressed. Like, I don't feel like dealing with this. And I'm like, bro, I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you. Like that type of energy. Like, I'm ecstatic. The fact that you even have the courage to step out, and at this age, he's probably, in his 50s, and just be willing to just say, yeah, I'm gone. Like I'll see y'all later. And this person actually has a business. But what does it give him? The reason why he can go do that is because he's been investing in himself for a very long time. So now he can sell his practice to somebody else.
Let them deal with that.
Yeah. Samira said she makes homemade organic body butter and soy candles at home and made $1 grand last month selling them. You can literally do anything. Samira, let's get those on the OG Network store.
Yeah.
Let's get those on the OG Network store. Like I'm glad that you said that, because this is something that we would love to do. One thing that this new society has created is a marketplace anywhere. You can have a marketplace anywhere. We can literally be on live, and underneath the video, people can purchase items from our store. So Samira, make sure you hit me up, hit us up. You can email me at here. I'm gonna send the email right now. Let's figure out how to get your products on. Shoot, we work out a little percentage, a little barter. Something that keeps your integrity, keeps out. It's got to be principled, and we sell it, we push it. That's how we come together. Everybody here needs some body butter, right? I wish that we could jump on. I've been wanting to sell water for so long, but I can't find a spring water. Like, it's always like, oh, we got this filtered water source. Like, why not sell water? Everybody buys it.
Yeah, we're not taking our dollars to the big. We going back to, like you said, like that good grassroots. I'm supporting the people that's in my community. And the people in my community are the Americans. That's my backyard. If you're American and you're doing good business and you're trying to build and establish something for you, we here for that. That's how we can show our support. We're going to take our money from these corporations and from our paychecks and invest that back into people who are doing these things. And look, it's nothing. And if you want to get involved, if you want to get involved in that space, and maybe you're feeling you're like, yo, I definitely want to do another play. I want to find something else I could do. Definitely hit the Discord. But we're also gonna get into details of just how to get involved with people where you can maybe bring some value. Maybe, hey, I've got a marketing background. Look, I don't know how to start my own business. I can't say I necessarily have the full time and complexity, but I've got experience in this. Or, hey, look, I have experience, like our good friend Steve in Virginia has immaculate experience when it comes to self-protecting and handguns and bullets. We're blown away about the information. Him getting a YouTube channel. Him getting something where he's showing people the different cartridges and when and why, how and where. And these young generation don't know a thing about guns. They just run from them. They're scared of them. So even putting in, like, each one of you, 29 to 30 people in here have a specialty that needs to be bottled up, that needs to be written down, put in a bottle and thrown in the water for somebody else to take advantage of it. Each one of you guys have that. And as we continue to grow this community, we're going to show you how you can transition from having experience that you have and putting in a position where you can monetize it or be a part of a team that could potentially monetize it, and you be a part of something bigger and greater that can also put something more in your pockets. Zeke. So we just got to get to a place where we're capable of doing that. And the information is out there. It's not overwhelming. It's not scary. Bro, there's options here. So we going to be the bridge. We going to bridge this shit. We helping the older, the present, and the younger. We all that. We the vessels that we going to communicate all this stuff to.
Let's create a marketplace. And we've tried to in the past sell certain things, but let's create a marketplace based on what people's needs are. This is how dollars circulate in the community. Let me remove this real quick. This is how dollars circulate in communities. When you're building a community, you look at the things that are essential that people are going to have to buy. You're going to need water. You're going to need food. You're going to need body butter. You're going to need a lot of these different things, right? You're going to need clothes. So if we have a community here where we're providing those things, let's say each person, or we have different people take the lead on, one person's going to do the lead on taking the water project. Hey, we're going to figure out how we can tap into this spring water source to where now every bottle that we purchase of water, we're actually investing in something that we own. So it's not just purchasing water. We're buying all this water. We become so accustomed with buying stuff where we don't even realize, like, all of these things that we're buying, we could be supporting somebody in our own community. So it's uplifting my brother, it's uplifting my sister, it's uplifting somebody else in my village. So it's like, the more that if we live in a village and I pay you for something, then that's more money now that you have to pay back into the village and buy something else from somebody else that's in the village. That's how this stuff should be created. It's very simple. It's very simple. We got somebody that's making food, I bet. We got somebody that's selling water, I bet. We got somebody that has body butter, boom. We got somebody that's selling clothing, cool. We got somebody else, oh, we need soap. Yeah, I'm using soap every day. When we think about the things that we need every day and that we spend money on, why isn't somebody in our community selling those things?
Mm-hmm.
Why it's not that hard. Samira just said that she makes it in her crib. So now, Samira, we gonna link. We gonna figure out how to have that product here. We'll figure out something, and we can get very creative with it. Imagine having a marketplace to where people can buy into their market, to where people can now invest. We buy into all these other businesses that we have no idea what's going on. We got people manipulating the numbers so that they can benefit, where we have no understanding. Why not invest into something that we have, quote unquote, not using an illegal term, but insider information on?
Yeah, well, we can see the books. We know
we can see it.
We know the faces. We know what the back end look like, the front end, like, yeah, where you don't have to. That's how we gonna change the narrative. And look, we live in a time day now where we can make it convenient. This shit gonna come to your door like Amazon. There's no excuse. Mm-hmm. The information is there. The community is here. We just start putting this thing together. There should be no reason I should be. You're right. I shouldn't be buying soap from Publix. I shouldn't be purchasing from Dove. I just shouldn't. But if you don't speak about these things, you can just overlook it and be like, oh, it's just what I get. I just buy the Jergens. I don't even think twice. Mm-hmm. But it's like, nah, I'm gonna tap into Samir. What flavors? What fragrances? Like, there's no reason I can't go down that road. So it's like, when we can change, we can update the market. The market doesn't have to look like the market was back in 60s, 70s, and 80s now. Because convenience stores got smart. They went on every corner and said, oh, shit, we're going to give them convenience. Well, okay, well, cool. We don't want your convenience because we noticed that it comes at a GMO price that my health ain't willing to pay. I can't trust what you're doing. So you gave me convenience and you costed me my life. That's not right. That's not fair. Dog food. The fact that there's one dog food brand that I had started giving my dog was like, I think it's called Farmer's, somebody in the chat probably knows. They probably done it, but it's called like a Farmer's dog. And basically the food is just made out of real food. So it's just chicken, turkey, carrots, and like you can see the food and it comes in frozen packages and it's all sold online. They don't have a store. You can't go into the store and purchase it. And what happened? It's because somebody was a trailblazer and said, why the fuck are we so accustomed to giving our dogs kibble? We don't even know what the fuck is in this shit.
Yeah.
And then people started taking it seriously. And now that company's grown and scaled. So that there's no brick and mortar. We don't need those. We don't need Targets. We don't need Publix. The internet is the equalizer. The internet became the equalizer, became the checks and balances for every industry. Tech, political, food, and drug. It equalizes everyone. It don't matter if you're smearing, you're doing it at the crib, or your big fucking company down in South Georgia and you're doing it out of there. You can get your shit off. The internet made it equalizer for everybody. And so now we got to get to, like we talked about, American owned marketplace. If you are based in America and you are doing it to support you, your community, your family, That's what we want to hear. That will go viral. You think about things that people want to get behind. It's stuff like this. People are waiting for you to do it. We're waiting for that. You do that. We want to support. I'm not even going to call it support. I'm going to go buy that soap anyway. I don't support Jergens.
Right.
I don't. I just need that shit.
Neutrogena. What have they done for you? What have they done for your life?
Yeah, Johnson & Johnson.
Yeah.
Fuck about all them. So I don't even call it support. It ain't even. I am purchasing a product because I need it. I need what you have, period. And you going to make some money off of it. That's the game. We okay when Target do it. I'm going to be okay when Samir do it. That's it. And then we just have to hold ourselves accountable to learning the other parts of business that we aren't familiar with. Communication, point of contact when there are issues. You're now going to learn and take those reps in your business, in entrepreneurship, where it's going to bleed into your personal confidence, and you're going to change. It's going to forge you to become a better person, more well-rounded person, know how to communicate, deal with stress. These are the things that we always contribute a lot of our strengths to sports. It's not necessarily football. It's the system around football that has developed us to become the type of people we are, that we feel so much loyalty to what the sport was able to do. And so entrepreneurs is another avenue. It's another place where you can get reps in that'll change you for the better. It forces you to think. It forces you to collab. It forces you to be thoughtful. It forces you to learn finances, learn how to do tech. It forces you to learn social media. There's AI now. You don't have to build a website. Punch it in AI. They'll do it. Go to Fiverr. They'll build it. Learn the logistics. We're going to update everybody. It ain't just one. We're going to update everybody to get on board. We're not putting our money in 401ks and this, that, and the third. We're putting them in a new avenues that we can have a return while we're still breathing, while we still can move. I don't want that shit at 70, bro. Give a fuck. I'm chilling. I want that shit now, bro. I want you to go see the parts of the world. I want you to go see Miami, go to Art Basel. Now get that little extra $2-3 grand and go see something that you ain't never been. Take your kids somewhere. But we got to collab and, like you said, work together, shit like that.
And a lot of these things, like even when I talk to my parents, you know, you learn these skills you've been learning these skills for a very long time, and retire should be looked at in a totally different way, in my opinion. It should be, oh, now that I learned how this system works, now I'm going to do it on my own. Now I've been a teacher, I've been an attorney, and I'm just talking about my parents. Yeah, you're gonna now sell those services just in a different way, to where you can work for a month and then take off a month. You can sign on maybe for some part-time work. You can create your Mrs. Caldwell's Class YouTube channel to where you're reading books to kids in school, to where you're teaching now a global community, not just your school, and you're doing it on your own time. No different than Candace Owens does her live stream. Yeah, Ma, you're going to set up your Mrs. Caldwell's class. We're going to have the nightly book readings or whatever it is. Yeah, you're going to read some bedtime stories. You're going to teach these kids math. You're going to teach these kids, help them with their reading. You're going to help them with their speech. You're going to help them with all these things. And you're going to do it in a way that's actually able to tap in and communicate with a whole bunch of different people in different areas, rather than just the people that you've been accustomed to sitting in front of in a school system. But we believe it's very hard for us when we have so much structure. It's no different than football. When a lot of us leave football, we can't handle life. A lot of that's just because we've become so accustomed to having structure, where people tell us everything what to do. Oh, this is when you're going to practice. This is when you need to sleep. This is when you're going to go to study hall. This is when you're going to have your meetings. Schedule all your classes at this time. Somebody's going to help you with it. You get so accustomed to having all that structure to the point where you get to an age of 60 and you've been doing something your entire life where you don't even understand, or you can't even see the vision. Like, oh, I'm in a great position right now. Forget trying. The only reason that the employers, when you go to a job, let's say that you're unemployed and you're in your 50s, 60s, and they tell you that you're overqualified, that's overqualified to work for them. In other words, you're overqualified to be a worker. Now you got to figure out how to be a seller, how to be a business, how to sell your products in a different way. Look at it like that. Don't be disappointed that they tell you that you're overqualified. Absolutely, you're overqualified because they just want a worker. They don't want a thinker. They don't want somebody that understands the system. They want a worker. But you've graduated from that. So now you have an opportunity to make some good money, some better money, keep getting that retirement money coming in. But also here, what's your skill? What's your talent? Okay, we're going to work with you. We're going to set you up with a couple young people on our team that are going to figure out a way to monetize the skills that you've been developing this entire time. And we're going to have them delivered to our marketplace to now where you may not even have to go out there and run around and try to find your first clients because, you know, realistically, I know you all may not have time for that. Now we can bring some people on board to do that. But in all actuality, the goal is to have a marketplace to where it's like, oh, no, we already have this market, this target market, or this market, I should say, of customers that now, because people need your product, you don't have to do all the extraness. It's like, okay, this is the person that's selling our water. This is the person that, oh yeah, they got food. You know, they're doing these freezer pack foods or delivery food services, whatever it may be. This is the person, oh, they got this clothing. Hey, get your uniforms from here. Get this from here. We already have all that. So it just makes it a lot easier. And this is why, like, people pay a lot of money to have markets. We can have our own market. As long as we don't let the ego get in the way of, well, this person making more money than this. You didn't have that energy when it came to your boss who was paying you a fraction of the percentage at the value that you're bringing. So why are you going to have the energy towards the people that you're actually building with?
Yeah, that's true. I kind of, I'll play the rest of that video. I kind of want to see how he finishes.
Man, you know me. Hey, right. You know me. I'll put on a video. Let me just play.
It was good.
Okay. And so this is what's going to prove that the video is fake. And so we have things like TikTok where we can screenshot Israel's statements that they put out where they claim that they did bomb the hospital. And then we can see them delete them. And then we can see them come up with a new one that's, this is a video. And then we can prove that the video is fake. And then we can follow everything that's happening. All we got to do is open our eyes and start looking. Okay. And so this is what's going to happen. Israel's money is going to dry up from the United States. Right now, there's one thing that unites Democrat and Republican politicians and media in the United States, and that is the support for Israel. That's what it is. Unfucking believable that there's nothing else that Republicans and Democrats are aligned on. America is in bed with the Zionist Jewish lobby. And we see that now. And we are going to dry that motherfucking funding up, let me tell you. It may seem like, we've been trying to do this for years and years and years and years, but it just never works. Yeah, it's going to work now because white people like myself are finally fucking telling the story of the Palestinian people. That's what's going to fucking happen. And it's gross. It's disgusting that that's what it takes. But it's here. And we are going to fucking hold them accountable. Like I'm telling you right now, I've made a solemn fucking promise to myself and here vocally on TikTok. I will never vote for another politician under any circumstances who supports the funding of Israel. Period. And I'm just one guy with a small platform. But let me tell you, there's more of me and more of me and more of me. And I'm going to keep educating people and they're going to keep educating people. And we're all going to just fucking say, we will no longer vote for anybody who funds Israel. And I'm telling you, when that fucking happens, the state of Israel that you know of today will cease to exist. It will either adapt and make peace, or it will be destroyed because they won't have any fucking money anymore. Because the only reason Israel is alive today is because of America's money. Period. That's the reality of the situation. And so how do I see this ending? Not only with a marked change in what Israel is right now, but the freedom of the Palestinian people. And then I see this influencing many, many, many other revolutions across the world, just like the American Revolution did, right? That's what's going to happen. People are waking up, and I can't wait for it.
Well said.
Yeah, I saw that video and he put it like, I listened to it, him staying calm, you know, everything. He just really summed up what a lot of people are feeling. And I think the obligation and responsibility that a lot of us have to take. So people will sit back and be like, why y'all keep talking about, yo, no, this is what we're talking about. You know, even I have these conversations with myself. No, we're going to talk about it in a way where it's maintaining the principle of just putting America first. It's not a hatred for Israel. It's not, at least, I mean, I think I'm speaking for a lot of people. It's not a hatred for Israel. Matter of fact, the behavior when we say that we want to step away from supporting Israel, the response that we get when we say that, that's what creates the hatred. It's like, oh, now you're going to respond to me. Like, matter of fact, then it turns into something a little bit with a little bit of a different energy. But I thought that was well put, well said, and something that a lot of us can relate to.
Yeah, I mean, great message. I think he hit the nail right on the head. And I think Phil has had a great comment. See, it takes effort to find out the truth. If you're spoon-fed the propaganda, you'll always be ignorant. That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And he's attesting to that. He's saying, and I believe I personally can say the same thing. Is when you don't do the research, you just accept what you're given. But now in this day and age, it's just too easy, or just far more easier to find out what the truth is. And how you respond to it, obviously, is up to you. But there's no reason to not know the truth and act on the truth, regardless if the truth is made it to your doorstep or you have to go knock on doors to find it. But there's no excuse to that, because in the hindsight, what do you think's going to happen? Like, do you think that will Palestine be the first? Like, what ends up, like, if this happens kind of like the way he's saying, which I think is going to be, like, what's going to happen? What's the update look like for Israel moving forward?
Yeah, I think there's a few different options. I think it could go very bad as far as us getting into it with them. And, you know, that's the thing. There's a lot of people, although it may seem like at times that Europeans are the only people that do, or America is the only country that does scandalous things.
I see what you mean.
I think that Israel could easily attach themselves to a different country and have the same relationship that they have with America and have it with another country. Now, the dynamics may be off because that new country that comes into play, there may not be as many Jewish people in that particular country. But I don't think that that'll prevent Israel from making a deal with a different country. You know, Israel I'm sure they can do a great job at putting together a proposal saying, like, hey, we're in this region. There's nothing but Arabs in this region. You know, maybe we can bring in some Asians. Maybe we can bring in this group, we can partner with you all. And if you guys guarantee us protection, then we'll hit y'all off with something that we're getting from you know what I mean? Like, I feel like that can always happen. I guess what's funny about it is I haven't even given it much thought to where I thought that our politicians would even turn their back on Israel and do what the people actually are saying.
Oh,
yeah. I think, hey, I don't, let me say this. I don't care. And let me elaborate on that. A lot of us may look at it and say, well, what may happen, you know, if we do not support them? What's going to happen? No. I can't care about that. I have to care about the genocide and prioritize that more than anything else. I have to care about us continuing to send money to them to fund their efforts of creating this greater Israel project. I have to take into consideration Bibi Netanyahu coming over here and feeding us propaganda of why we should get involved in a war with Iraq to where hundreds and thousands of Americans end up dying. I have to care about that and then be okay with whatever happens after that we'll figure out a way. And that's the thing. It's not anything about a hatred towards Israel. It's not a hatred. When you have a friend or a quote unquote friend that's taking advantage of you, you're not wrong for saying, yeah, I don't want you to take advantage of me anymore. So I'm going to remove myself from this situation. I have to care about me being taken advantage of our country being taken advantage of to help commit demonic acts, evil, genocide. I have to prioritize that over prioritizing what ends up happening with Israel if America no longer supports them. Yeah. Because once again, if you got the right to exist and it seems like everything is based on this godliness of God's promise to you all, then you shouldn't really need America. God got you.
Yeah, walk in that.
God promised you it, you know. So if you're standing on that, God promised you it. God will protect y'all.
Stand
God
on
will
it.
protect y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then we saw the video yesterday where they said they not waiting for no Messiah. They become their own messiahs. Well, okay, I guess you don't need a Messiah. You don't need America either.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll figure it out. I'm sure. One thing that and this may come across a little bit insensitive, and I'm talking mainly about Israel's government, specifically in this point. But one thing that unfortunately I don't think we have to worry about is that evil and conniving and selfish people will tend to figure out a way to survive.
Yeah.
They tend to figure out a way to survive, as sad as that is. Perhaps maybe certain things, they'll figure it out or they won't. But that can't be, that's not, like I said, even with America, there's certain things that America has to face. America was founded on the same things that in a lot of ways Israel was founded. So when you're founded on those things, now America has been very lucky to the point where they've done a great job in, they colonized people, they changed the history. Half of us don't even know what happened and who was here and we don't know any of that stuff. So they did a tremendous job.
Yeah.
Like that they did the whole, how in Men in Black, they give you the thing to make you forget your past and then they reprogram you. That's exactly what America did to a lot of us, because whoever was here, now people go back and forth on, I don't believe in the transatlantic slave trade as they told it to us. I think that there were some people here. They may have brought, they brought some people over, but I think a lot of people were here. But whoever was here, America's very lucky that they don't have the same energy that Palestinians have.
And stand on it.
Yeah, because America like kind of just had it pretty easily. We can come in here, take these people's land, do whatever we want, use this slavery system to uplift America. And really, to be totally honest, especially with our parents' generation, there was a certain point in America where people were actually feeling like, yo, this is good. Like America, we feeling good about America. You know what I mean? They got to that point to where they didn't have any of that. That's why it was so easy for us to be convinced that Palestinians and the Arabs in that region are evil terrorists, because we're looking at it and they may have stole certain people in America's land and Americans have kind of just accepted it. And hey, we just want to be Americans. Palestinians are like, nah, we're not stopping until we get our land back. I'm not stopping until we get our land back. You don't get to decide when there's peace, when there's war, until you can at least give us the decency of giving back to us what you stole from us. And then after that happens, we can entertain a conversation. You don't get to steal from me. You steal $10,000 from me, and then you think you can give me $2,000 back and we can start having a conversation? No, give me $10,000 at the very least, and you should throw some interest on there as well, just to make sure that initial conversation is happening in good graces. But you don't get to steal from me and then think that you can just dictate when there's peace and when there's not.
That's what they did to Haiti. You saw what the Europeans did, the French did to Haiti.
Yeah, they were still extorting Haiti.
Made them pay reparations.
Still extorting them, still controlling the food that comes in there. What else was it?
Yeah, food, and then forced Haiti to pay the reparations back from abolishing the slavery, being the first country to abolish slavery.
So Haiti had to pay back. Haiti had to pay reparations to the people that were enslaving them.
Yes, because they ruined a lot of people's lives and their businesses.
To this day, in the Deontay Wilder Meyer wrote, I knew it. To this day.
That's the boxer, ain't it? Yeah. Yeah. This is the type of stuff that goes on. And remember when that revolt happened in 1804, I want to say, they made sure to not let that revolt be known in other countries that had slaves, so that it would not incite a revolt. So now we're seeing the CNNs, the Fox News, the propaganda. Oh no, we can't let them know what happened in that little Caribbean town down there, because they might get turned and want to start doing their own thing, and we ain't off none of that. So they shut Haiti down, and all countries ignored it. then how they positioned it is if you were another Caribbean country that did any business with Haiti, whether it be rice, food, any type of embargo, stuff like that, we're not, us as America, we're not going to fuck with y'all. So then Haiti became isolated by all Spanish conquered countries. So you got Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, all these Spanish countries in the Caribbean. You always be like, how the Caribbean countries don't fuck with the black country? Well, it's because they're the ones that they were told if they fucked with that country that they wouldn't get subsidized and supported by the other countries in the Caribbean. So then they forced the other country's hand. Well, forced, I'll use that, you take it as it is, but they ran that play. So now we look at people and people judge Haiti like, oh, look at that shitty country. But look how you can, like, look when you let people take power that in full control and there are no checks and balances, how they can ruin a country to this day who is still not finding a way to be able to establish any bit of concrete politics, any bit of concrete money, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and this is why, you know, all these countries, they chose to do what they thought was in their best interest. You know, that's that, going back to that saying, it's just business. You know, when people are doing something foul, not principled, lacking integrity, it's just business. I'm doing it for my own survival, for the survival of my country. And this is why, even when I say like America first, to me, it's really humanity first. Like, I'll say the America first and I get that. And it's like, that's the first level. But ultimately, this is humanity first. And humanity first just happens for me to contain countries prioritizing themselves, but prioritizing themselves more so in a way where it's like, just focus on you, stay in your lane, stop getting involved in everybody else's business. You worry about your home. And then we have maybe universal principles and standards and laws and just guidelines to make sure that we're all treating each other in a fair way and that we're treating others the way that we want to be treated. And there's an understanding, let's say if somebody does step out of line, then we can help them get back in line. I understand that. But when it comes to a lot of these countries, whether it's Haiti, whether it's a lot of others that just seem to be colonized and put in a position where now the powers that be can tell the other countries surrounding them that they typically would work with, or it makes sense for them to work with, it's just another bullying tactic.
It's a bully.
It's just another bullying tactic, and shame on these countries for allowing that, because if they'll bully this country today, then who's to say that they won't do the same tactic on you tomorrow? Mm-hmm. You're just kicking the can down the road and selling out the future generations to being embedded with this terrible deal, this terrible contract that you have that compromises your humanity. I'm sure it compromises your principles, your values, your God's commandments, whatever it is, because you're doing something foul. You're doing something foul. You're complicit. This is no different than what Osama bin Laden saying that we're complicit. You are being complicit in a country being extorted. And you think that you have no responsibility and accountability in addressing that? Mm-hmm. It goes back to what do we always talk about? When you have men in the room, all this political stuff goes out the window. Mm-hmm. When you have true men in the room, true leaders, they're saying like, nah, you're not extorting them. Mm-hmm. I don't care. Like, you're not extorting them. I have nothing to do with them at all. But it doesn't even matter whether I do or I don't. Like, nah, you're not extorting them. That's just not what we stand on. But see, we don't guard our principles. We allow ourselves to be led by tribalism. So when we don't guard these principles that we want to live by, and we excuse other people in violating those principles, sooner or later, that's going to come visit us. And then we're going to be put in an even more difficult position to where our leaders, the people that just make those decisions where it's just business, they're going to compromise our entire group of people. So they're going to compromise our entire country and put our standards to the side just because we're allowing ourselves to get bullied. And they'll make it a very friendly bullying when it comes to the people at the top, because they'll reward them. They'll get certain deals to where they may not feel like they're being bullied, even though they know they are, but they're getting certain benefits, so they go along with it. They sell their country out.
The higher ups end up doing it. I mean, when you say the comment of y'all God's people, y'all got it.
Figure it out. Yo, God got you. Like, for real, you are literally God's chosen people. You think God ain't gonna take care of y'all?
You good. Like, why you grabbing it? If you told me God got me, why are you grabbing a check?
Yeah, you don't need a check. You don't even need that nuclear weapon that y'all be hiding.
Yeah.
You don't need any of that.
God got you. Sacrifice. That's what y'all, his people. He gonna protect y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Run it up. You don't need us. That's all we saying. We just said we finally listening. We not pushing back to say you're not. Okay, y'all got it. Go off. Show us. Show us what God's people do when God got them. Just don't think you're going to keep extorting Americans for it. That we're not off that. Like, this ain't the deal. You can't say God got me and then, oh, but let me go. No. You don't need no protection. Go in the hood. Go popping your shit. You don't need no gun. You good. God got you. You're strong. That's what you told me. Should I believe it? Should I believe? Or you looking shaky? You looking hesitant? You looking like you said, oh, we're going to go make another deal. Why? God gave you the best deal possible, right? You don't need another deal. No more deals needed. No more contracts. Walk by faith.
Yeah, walk by faith, not by sight.
Yeah, walk by faith.
And the reason why is because they know what God represents. God represents that universal energy, and that universal energy
They
is
know that.
undefeated. What you put out is what you're getting in return. You keep putting all this evil out into the world, eventually it's going to visit you. So they know that. So therefore, it ain't about, oh, well, if you really God's chosen people, then you should put out the amazing energy that you're able to put out into the world. You shouldn't. Why people want to kill you? Why people want to do certain things to you?
Right.
You God's people, you know how to become, you know how to befriend everybody.
Right.
No different than God, right?
When you start putting it out there as the words alone hang themselves when you just say this stuff. It's like, how are the people that telling me to believe are the ones riding around with protection?
Mm-hmm.
Why would that be? Why does Israel need America's support if they God's people? God's supporting you. You don't need our money. Get God's money.
Yeah, I need my money. God, hey, I ain't chosen like y'all, so I need all the help I can get. So respectfully, I'm gonna keep what little I have over here, and until I get to a position to where God calls me as one of His chosen ones, then I'm just gonna, stay in my lane and making sure that I gotta be responsible for me right now, because I'm not the favorite child of God.
Yeah, so we just want y'all to see y'all stand on it. Like, stand on it like y'all have done in the past. Y'all have been through so much. Y'all have persevered. Keep doing it. Keep showing us what strength looks like.
Show me the way.
Show me
the way.
Show me through your leadership.
Yeah. Robert, shout out to big bro Robert, always tapping in with the heat, man.
Hell yeah. Shout out to you, Robert.
The biggest threat to Israel is fair taxation of the billionaire class. This is why Ben Shapiro says you don't have a right to live where you were born. This lets them buy TikTok and our politicians. Money is influence. Fact on fact on fact.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Fact on fact. People are going to lean into whatever leverage they have. And Israel, when it comes to it right now, they have the leverage of this billionaire class. So what makes it easier for them to make sure that they get their agenda accomplished? It's to buy TikTok. It's to buy the politicians. That's what people are motivated by. There's a reason why I assume in the Bible it says that the lust of all money is the root of all evil. The lust for money is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
When you're think about how we go day in and day out and make decisions compromising our morals, values, and integrity just because of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then we sit back and wonder why we have a society and a world that is dealing with a problem of evil and demonic behavior being accepted by the most powerful, and everybody else just going along and being complicit. So L. Relly wrote, Christians are the chosen. How about everybody just decides whether or not they're chosen? You're not born with any tag on you, because I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, being Christian goes beyond just saying that you're a Christian. It's actually in your actions. So therefore, why not just say, everybody has the opportunity to earn, that chosen role, to earn how you treat each other, how you treat your neighbor, what you contribute to society, not only your village, but to overall society. Why not just, wouldn't the world be a better place if we looked at it like that? No, maybe not. I don't know. But that's just how I choose to look at it. That's how I choose to look at it, because there's people that were born in places where they have no idea what Christianity is. So now those people can never get into heaven. They can never, ever be the chosen people. They just weren't exposed to it. They have no idea. Matter of fact, in a lot of those areas, they may be living more Christ-like than a lot of other people that are very well aware of Christianity. So I tend to look at it in a different way. But I understand, I'm not pushing against. How about we're all chosen? How about this? Everybody's chosen. What is the army saying? Fewer or many are called, but few are chosen, or whatever. I don't know what the exact thing. How about we're all chosen? And when I say we're all chosen, we're all given the capability to maximize our potential and become as godly as we are willing to work at, sacrifice, and most importantly, be led by proper principles and morals. So for all chosen, it's just we all have the talent. It's just everybody doesn't choose to maximize their talent, to maximize their potential. So I don't know what this chosen or unchosen is. It don't matter. Chosen or unchosen, I'm finna win, and I'm finna move in a way that I feel is righteous and principled. So I don't need anybody else telling me or giving me a tag of. It's like when you're younger. Let's imagine you going to try out for a football team, or if you're on a football team and they put a sticker on your helmet, BK, and they say, "Oh no, he's a backup." Bro, you think I care about this sticker that you got? I'm finna start, bro. And thank you for putting that battery in my back. You didn't choose me as a starter. Okay, watch what I do. Now I've made it personal to make sure that I outwork whoever it is that's in that starting role and make them look as silly as possible and make you look as silly as possible for ever thinking that they're in a position ahead of me. That's the energy. So it doesn't matter what label you are. Like, that's something that you have to personally take up with God or take up with yourself and determine what type of person that you want to be. And overall, it's funny how what type of person we are usually depends on how we treat others. So to each their own. To each their own.
Simple as that.
Yeah. All right, let's wrap it up. Appreciate y'all, man. Oh, I have a funny video. Should I finish? We got to finish with a funny video. It is.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what I see it tucked in.
You see where I'm about to go with all this.
I see where it's tucked off, too.
I pray that everybody finds this level of confidence that this lady has.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
2024?
As in last year?
No, I didn't subscribe to politics. I don't subscribe to politics. That's the illusion of choice.
So for everybody that's not familiar with Pop the Balloon, BK, you want to explain it real quick? Because I feel like you the one to introduce it to me.
Yeah, so Pop the Balloon is basically, it's, you get a group of people that are looking for, I guess, a potential dating partner. And then so they'll get a cast of women or men. And then basically the person comes out and they basically are asked a couple questions that allows them to kind of show who they are, their personality, what they do, etc. And if you have a balloon, you basically, if you like what you see and you like what you hear, you don't pop it. If you don't like them, then you just pop it. So it's pretty simple.
All right. I'm going to try to play this straight through. It's a minute.
It's a quick one.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
2024?
As in last year?
No, I didn't subscribe to politics. I don't subscribe to politics. That's the illusion of choice.
And why'd you pop?
That's bullshit.
Damn.
I respect that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why do you feel that?
It is 2024. We are under a dictatorship, and you are still out of politics at 51. Get out of my face. Thank you.
Well, the bottom line is, if you think that your vote
You
chooses
were
our
born
president,
into a game that you have to play, and if you do not play the game, the rest of us see.
I believe voting is really, really
It's an
important
easy
on
thing
the
to do.
local
You do it,
and
and you get it done
medicinal
with.
level. Like when you deal with your school systems and the municipality, you can have a lot of power there. But on a federal level, if you think that your vote has anything to do with who's the president of the United States, you just misunderstand the system.
Yeah, I got my bachelor's in criminal justice, a minor in psychology and political science. I studied it. Thank you.
That doesn't matter. It's still the same system, perpetuates the same results.
I like to see them dueling like this. I like to see them dueling up like this. I mean, she passionate. I'm gonna let her have it. Now, I don't know. What is this? Is an older. This is like the older Pop My Balloon. Love Mountain.
Well, it's 2024, and she said that we're under a dictatorship. So I don't know exactly who they're referring to. From my understanding, Biden was in Kamala were in office in 2024, but I guess maybe the election already happened. I don't know. Yeah.
She wasn't looking for love.
All right, so I'm just gonna say what needs to be said, because clearly VK.
Oh, see, you trying to incite me.
Matter of fact, no, I'm not gonna incite you.
Okay,
I'm not gonna incite you.
Feels good.
You know what? Yeah.
I am incite. I'm gonna incite you.
No. You know what? I think that it was just a funny. It's a funny conversation. You know, this gentleman keeping it very respectful. Very respectful.
See, he wanna go here.
No, I'm not gonna because we're finna do this breathing exercise. But I just think there's a lot of dynamics in this conversation.
This dude, this politician on this podcast right now. Get this politician out of my face.
This was very offensive to me.
Okay, so get into it.
This was very offensive to me.
Because I know where you want to go.
Because you have this very nice gentleman. Seems to be very respectful. Seems to be trying to give some game. And this just gives off the whole, we're the most highly educated. Look, education does not mean leadership, in my opinion. For some people it may, for some people it doesn't. But there's a lot of dynamics to this where, you know, clearly she is passionate, like you said, and perhaps she's so passionate because men haven't done the certain things that we need to do in order to lead in a proper way. But as far as just the relationship dynamic I was very offended by it. The level of confidence that you have to be disrespectful to somebody like this, to be snarky, and as she was, I just found it offensive. Matter of fact, we're not doing this. You're not doing this. Matter of fact, I actually did a review to this video already.
Damn.
So I'll put that up. And yeah, I want to end on a positive note. I really do. And I shouldn't even have played that video, but I selfishly, and perhaps my principles were compromised in what I watched this video and I had a bit of a different reaction yesterday to it. But
Phil is trying to get you going.
Yeah.
See, Phil is trying to fire you up in the comments. Look, Phil is already putting it on. Look what Phil is doing.
Let me be very clear. Let me be very clear. All right, so let me do this. Let's play it again. And I'm gonna pick and choose the exact points because I don't want to just make it seem like I'm just picking on her. But let me play the entire video again.
Who did you vote for in the 2024 election?
2024?
As in last year?
No, I didn't subscribe to politics. I don't subscribe to politics. You know, that's the illusion of choice.
And why'd you?
The illusion of choice. I actually agree. And this is the same energy that I'm on. I'm not voting. As of right now, I ain't feeding into this no more. I'm going back to not voting.
Pop.
That's bullshit.
Damn.
I respect that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why do you feel that?
Did you see the hand gesture? I didn't like that. The carry on, like, yeah, you can continue. Like, who do you think you are, man? You're in line at you look about 50, you probably about 40. You're in a pop the balloon challenge trying to find love, and you got this snarky attitude from a gentleman. Seems like a very nice, controlled, emotionally intelligent brother. I don't like this. Let's keep going.
It is 2024. We are under a dictatorship, and you are still out of politics at 51. Get out of my face. Thank you.
You're out of politics at 51. Ma'am, look at you at whatever age you are at. And this is the thing. No, I'm being for real. Perhaps if people cared a little bit more about their health and prioritized those things rather than always trying to have an opinion on politics, then perhaps we'd be in a better place as a country. Perhaps if we had a healthier country, we wouldn't have gotten fear-mongered with 2020 because we have so much obesity, because we have so much of these conditions that a lot of Americans face due to being unhealthy, to where now they can scare us into saying, hey, you need to take this jab because we have a more vulnerable group of a vulnerable community who's susceptible to the worst impact and effects of this virus, which shouldn't have been that serious. Let's keep going.
Face. Thank you.
Get out of my face. Thank you.
And you are still out of politics at 51. Get out of my face. Thank you.
Get out of my face. This shows an even greater problem. And this is what I talk about, this whole princess type of treatment that a lot of women grow up with. She has clearly never been humbled in her life, never been held accountable. Nobody's ever kept it real with her, to where she thinks that she can get up on here. She knows she's going to be on TV behaving like this while looking like that. And that may come across as mean, that may come across, but it's the audacity that a lot of people have. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's mean. And now people may say that I'm being mean, but I'm calling it as I see it. And this disgusting attitude, if she didn't have this disgusting attitude, I wouldn't even have looked at it like this. But this is what happens.
Well, the bottom line is, if you think that your vote
You
chooses
were
our
born
president,
into a game that you have to play, and if you do not play the game, the rest of us sit.
I believe in.
No, we don't have to play this game. Us continuing to play this game, us continuing to race against people where we think that we're running and they got us running in the wrong direction while they're running one way. No, we don't have to continue participating in that. We don't have to continue participating in a game that people control, and we think that we got a fighting shot at winning, when all they can do when we get close to they could just change the rules, do whatever it is. No, we don't have to. There's decisions and there's choices. You don't have to continue playing in any game.
No, voting is really, really
It's an
important
easy
on
thing
the
to do.
local
You do it,
and
you get it done
medicinal
with.
level. Like when you deal with your school systems and the municipality, you can have a lot of power there. But on a federal level, if you think that your vote has anything to do with who's the president of the United States, you just misunderstand the system.
Even how he just said that. He chose to be as respectful as possible. You misunderstand the system. She can't even hear what he's saying. He's saying that it's important to vote on the local level, but when it comes to all this federal stuff, we're not making an impact. Why are we not making an impact? Because we think our vote, if I give Trump my vote, you think that's more important to him than Miriam Adelson giving him $100 million? What would you do if somebody I'm going to give you my vote. Oh, this person going to give me $100 million. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here with this $100 million. They're politicians. Put yourself in their minds. They've already compromised their way to the positions that they're in now. Now we think that once they get to the big bag, the big prize, they're gonna all of a sudden have these morals and principles that or allow them to walk away from receiving this money, receiving these contributions from these donors. No, they're gonna do whatever it is that the donors tell them to do. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I got my bachelor's in criminal justice and minor in psychology and political science. I studied it. Thank you.
That doesn't matter. It's still the same system.
It's still the same. Yo, I'm proud of this, brother. I'm glad that he handled it the way that he handled it.
He handled the way I wouldn't have handled it.
Yes. Like, ma'am. Ma'am. That's the energy that can we start this over? If you're not feeling me, then cool. We could just leave it at that. But let me get out of here, man. I'm mad that I got you to
see.
But it's not just on what we're talking about. But there really are a lot of dynamics to this, even when it comes to people not being willing to listen. She thinks that the only way to fight the system is based on her education. And what happens when you go to a lot of these schools? When you go to schools, a lot of them are dominated they're just Democratic breeding grounds. Most of these colleges and universities. So what do you go to school and you come out and you want to take a stand and you're for the Democrats against the racist Republicans and racist conservatives. And then what typically happens is you live a little life and you realize, actually, maybe it's beneficial to have some of these more conservative ways of living life. Maybe it's a little bit beneficial, but you have people like her probably emotionally looking at politics, talking about we got a dictator in office. Like, bro, like they're all the same. There's no dictator in office now compared to when Obama was in office, compared to when anybody else was in office. And if you think that Obama or all these other people are any different and they have a higher moral code, higher all this, then we've lost from that point on. They are all the same. They are all working for the same company. They all work for the same people. They just have different ways of getting us to go along with the very same things or the same agenda overall. Because this is why when you look at it, the same people pay both the Democrats and Republicans, the people that actually get stuff done. Big Pharma, Israel, Silicon Valley. It's the big businesses and Israel. So she's not even willing to take a step back and understand what this brother's saying. She's so indoctrinated, which is what happens at a lot of these schools. See, we think that when we're going to get an education, that puts us in a position to where now we can see the world with more clarity. And in actuality, it's doing the opposite. It's indoctrinating you to see things. Just think about the indoctrination that we've had for so long when it comes to Israel and other countries in that region. Did it make us more intelligent about what's going on in that region? Or did it make us less intelligent and more just brainwashed? So this is how I look at politics overall. I can't stand people with that type of stank attitude. I don't like it. Yeah. And then it's like, oh my God. Yeah. Let me. Yeah. Can we do some breathing?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Let's do some breathing. Make sure that y'all like. It's time for the most important part of the show. So we want to boost the algorithm. We're going to get into our breathing exercise, which we'll do our box breathing technique that we were introduced from our big bro, Steve. We're going to do a 4-second inhale in which we're inhaling positive energy, being very intentional, feeling the positive energy entering our system. Look at it as almost like we're charging that inner light that all of us possess. Then we're going to do a 4-second hold, and then we're going to do a 4-second exhale, which we're releasing all the negative limiting energy, anything that's compromising ourselves or thoughts, negative thoughts, whatever it may be, preventing us from maximizing our potential. We're going to be very intentional with actually physically removing that from our system. Then we're going to do another 4-second hold, and then we're going to go through that cycle 4 times. So 4-second breath. Inhale, 4-second hold, 4-second exhale, 4-second hold. And if you are in a safe place, what you get over there? What you clowning about? Hold on, we gotta do it before the breathing.
Yo, John Ramirez in the comments.
Going crazy. Oh my God, I see him. Nah, we doing
I'm not
breathing.
even gonna highlight it.
I look down. I'm not looking down no more. I'm not. Matter of fact, close your eyes if you're in a safe place. We're getting ready to start this breathing. 4-second inhale, inhaling positive energy. Ready, begin. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And on this last inhale, let's make sure we're being very intentional. Inhaling all that empowering energy that's going to allow you to maximize your potential. Ready, go. Hold. Keep holding, because we're getting ready to release the last bit of that negative energy. Anything that's been limiting you, holding you back, any questions that you have in your mind, release them now. Hold. All right. Now rub your ears and say woosah.
Woosah. Woosah. All right. Y'all know what we come here to do. Elevate on purpose, both from an intentional standpoint, raising our standards to become the best leaders we can become that are needed now more than ever. And of course, part of that leadership is knowing when we need to follow and embrace whatever role it is needed for us to win, and prioritize putting the team first and treating others the way we want to be treated, all that amazing stuff. All right. So we want to challenge ourselves to become the best leaders, as well as to grow into the people that can go after these amazing goals and dreams that a lot of us strive for, and give us the confidence and tools to actually bring those things to fruition. Strength and honor, onward and upward. Let's make sure that we're getting to the bag. What is the bag focused on? The bag is focused on all the things that are going to serve as our compass, our North Star, our guide rails. All right, as we're living in our purpose and striving for purposeful abundance, all the things that we're doing throughout the day, the week, the month, that are ultimately going to add up into what our overall impact on this world is going to be, that we like to call our personal legend. So you got to figure out the thing that you want to focus on, the thing that's going to be pushing your purpose, that your purpose is going to be aligned with, and go after it, create a plan and create the map to get there, and make sure that we're developing on our way to make sure that we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. So the things that I focus on are peace, love, happiness, health, wealth, and in everything we do, integrity. And of course, we got to have that balance. BK, what's up?
Another good show, a good balance of, of all things discussed, good perspective, but really just aligning and empowering the community, and focusing on that. We take a lot of the characteristics and the energy and the motivation, the synergy that we had from these combos, and kind of bringing it to life. So just supporting, your community, your village, the Americans, and bringing back and redefining what that means, and what that's going to mean for generations to come is going to be the most important thing. That's going to be the most important vote that we can ever cast for the young generation, is to provide them the truth so that they are voting with the truth with them when they walk into the ballot, or understanding what's going on and what they're in support of. So, the Truth Party, I'm seeing it in the comments, the Truth Party is coming together. Truth Party.
Truth Party, uniting on truth.
Yeah, Truth Party. So that's it.
And then, of course, Finn always gives us the game.
Damn, it's Friday?
Yeah, it's Friday.
Man, we ain't gonna see y'all till Monday. Shit.
Man, we could pull up and say what's up over the weekend if if
Damn.
y'all need us,
Damn. Entrepreneurship model. Yeah. I'm like, this is a part of my routine. I ain't gonna see y'all till Monday. Shit. Damn. Y'all need a break, man. Y'all sleeping.
I just say what you saying. Like,
My-
maybe we'll jump in. Maybe we'll do a nice little Sunday sermon or something. Maybe we can review. Maybe we should do a review of maybe if people have different, I don't know, like online, whether it's church, whether it's the synagogue, whether it's the mosque, whatever. Maybe if people have a good message, maybe it doesn't have to be associated with religion at all, but maybe we can just review something on live together. We'll figure it out. Sometimes our eyes are bigger than our stomachs, so
yeah,
we'll figure it out. I think Finn, what did Finn write? Finn wrote, rise into the best version of yourself, elevate, one choice, one step, one day at a time, strength, honor, and love, man. It says pull up in the Discord over the weekend, BK. So there we go. All right, we'll bring it. We taking the talents. Everybody, we all taking our talents to Discord.
Yeah. We'll figure some play out.
There you go. Shout out to ISM in the building. I saw ISM making some good comments earlier. God's acceptance is the ultimate honorable goal. Keep it up, homies, and keep it real. 100. Respect right back to you.
Absolutely.
Right back to all y'all, man. Pure Vita wrote, love this chat. OG plus informed. Muchas gracias. Campeones. Yes.
Let's go.
We appreciate you. So
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you all. And shout out to Professor.
Yeah. Professor King was active today. We see you, Professor
King in the building.
She was active.
He's still rocking with us. All these meetings we missed.
I know. Sorry, Professor. Yeah, I definitely. We back though. We We got to set an alarm to where we need to end the show on Thursdays. That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
Every Thursday morning, we'll set a reminder, set an alarm that we got to be off by, and then that won't happen more. Kind of like we did for your 9:30s. I just got out of habit because of Thanksgiving. We got out of that routine. I just never even remembered that we was doing that.
Word, it was definitely your fault. But
Yeah,
just
I'll
appreciate
take
everybody. Nah, let me stop. Here you go. I'll take that. She said she still loves us. All right. Now we can end the show. And we got our love from Professor. Forget all the rest of y'all now. Let me stop. But all joking aside, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We don't take this for granted. We're going to continue to grow, continue to press the issue, and continue over this weekend. Seriously, I think Samira, hit me up on email me, and maybe I'll create a new email just for this type of interaction. But hit me up, dac@og.com. We're going to start this marketplace. All right. We're going to make sure that we have our community that we can rely on and depend on. And that's going to give us just an extra layer of security with just having this community and that camaraderie. So on that note, salute. We'll see y'all on Monday.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
We'll check the Discord.
All right. We'll see y'all, man. Have a good one.
Peace.